The World Center of Racing gets as busy can get every January, featuring sports car racing all month long. Joining that lineup virtually, British sim racers invade South Beach with Mazdas and touring cars on the iRacing.com simulator for round number 4 of British Sim Racers winter season. Hello and welcome to Pit Stop TV and the virtual Daytona International Speedway. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with JP Costa. JP, welcome back to BSR and welcome to Daytona.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be back here again, and what a track to be back at. Last week we had Spa, was an absolute blast, and I expect just more of the same around Daytona International Speedway. Obviously, drivers will be, accustomed to this track. Obviously, we're going to have the Daytona 24-hour. We're having the Roar happening on the simulator, you can say. So it's just a really fun track, just a really good track to race at. It's just presents so many overtaking opportunities, so many different strategies can happen, and well, Andrew, it's just so much fun to drive.
It definitely is. I would very much agree with that. Daytona, obviously, you can see it in front of the track map. I think everybody knows it at this point. Turn 1 is a rather tricky braking zone, taking you right into that, decreasing radius left-hand corner, because, of course, you come through the tri-oval and into that corner. And it just sets you up for pretty much back-to-back hairpins with a kink in between. They both go to the right, and then you have, obviously, turn 6 to get back up onto the NASCAR oval. That brings you around NASCAR 1 and 2. You got the bus stop, you got NASCAR 3 and 4, and that's a lap here at Daytona. It's nothing too crazy, it's nothing too complicated, which is why it makes for such great racing. There's such an opportunity, obviously, to draft and to build up speed, that when you get to each of the braking zones, be it for turn 1, the bus stop, or even really in the infield, you're always going to have a passing opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just the beauty. Obviously we have different tracks, like, for example, as you mentioned, this is a simple track. We have difficult tracks, and especially with the format, I guess you can agree with me as well, Andrew. Have just a sprint race. You taking away that strategy that Daytona, I guess, it's quite known for. We've run the Daytona of 24 hours. We just slipstream the whole way through. You just try to save as much fuel. Having a sprint race, it just makes things different. It just makes things more fun, because you're not waiting, you're not saving as much fuel. You're just going for it, trying to break that slipstream, trying to get away, even though it's nearly impossible. It's just so much fun to try to do it flat out for 15 minutes on this case.
Yeah, 4 races of 15 minutes apiece. That's the usual get up here with the British Sim Racers. Let's take a look at our standings coming into round number 4. So now 3 rounds, that's 12 races complete so far this season. And Andy McEwen, who joined us on the mic here at Pit Stop TV on Sunday, is your points leader. He's got a 3-point gap back to Adam Delmont. It is Adam Delmont, right? Yes, Adam Delmont. For some reason, the A's confused me. Casper DeCourt sits in 3rd, also winless, much like Andy McEwen, our points leader. You see Jeff Sharp, or not Jeff Sharp. I'm used to Jeff Sharp in BRP. That would be James Sharp in the 4th spot in points. Tom Griffith's the top 5 as well with his 2 race wins. Thor Tullo and James Clark nearly tied there for 6th. And of course, you flip on over to the right side of your screen, you've got Liam Silkstone, the Pro-Am leader, and Adam Mitchinson, the amateur leader, apparently. And this is going off of what was said in Discord earlier on. Adam Mitchinson said he cannot be here today. That's going to shake up the amateur side.
Oh, absolutely. That's going to shake up things quite a lot. Obviously, he's the only amateur driver in the top 20. But obviously, when we look at the top 20, Andrew, things are starting to take shape after 3 rounds, aren't they? We saw after round 1, a lot of Pro-Am drivers. I'm pretty sure 2 amateur drivers on the top 20. Now we're only seeing 3 Pro-Am and only 1 amateur driver. So things are starting to take shape on the classes. Obviously, a full top 10 full of pro drivers, and then the top 20 getting a bit mixed up. But yeah, as you mentioned, things are going to shake up not only for the amateur class. Obviously, anything can happen on these 4 races, and well, we might see a completely different, championship leader. Only 3 points separating. Things can happen, and obviously, things will happen in the next rounds. Knock Hill next week. That's going to be crazy. That's going to be new. Snetterton, that's going to be fun as well. That's just a fast, short circuit. Silverstone, I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with. Brands Hatch, and then obviously finishing the season at Mount Panorama. Oh, just so much fun. But, I mean, it's still a long way to go.
Well, remember there with Silverstone, that's not normal Silverstone. That's not the International Grand Prix configuration. That is just the national course, the much shorter course there that uses the Hamilton pit straight. That's very, very different compared to what you might expect for Silverstone, and it's going to create a very different kind of racing. Brands Hatch is the Grand Prix layout for round number 8, which will change things up as well. I think we'll get some drafting opportunities with the Miatas and maybe even with the touring cars a little bit in that forest section, maybe a tiny bit of drafting there, but it's going to be almost an extended version of what we saw for round number 2, I think, when we go to Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix circuit. That's the track map. That is the points. That is the schedule. So I guess all that's left to do is go look at qualifying and see how each of these drivers are getting on. And interestingly enough, it is a brand new driver on top of the board. We don't even have a number board for him yet. That is Marcelo Pagnin. I wouldn't be surprised if the GN combo is a different sound, but I'm gonna go with Pagnin anyways, unless you know better.
No, I'm gonna follow you with that one because I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's nice to see a new driver going straight up, and what a gap he has to second place. Quite a healthy gap, I'd say. Obviously, this is the qualifying that I was kind of expecting. You know, people just drafting each other. You cannot really get a good qualifying spot without help. I mean, if you're just pushing the air by yourself, you're probably not going to get the greatest lap times. As you can see now, Adam Delmon in second place, 0.7 of a second behind the leader. That's a gap, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, it is. And that lap that Marcelo put down for provisional pole was absolutely a big draft lap to get that 0.7 gap back. You can see Casper de Kort is in the 3rd spot. Here's a look at him. He works into the turn 1, it looks like, actually, with Lars Fischer close behind and Jason Cooper in this group. Jason Cooper really dominated at Brands Hatch and was good again at Spa last week, but I think needs kind of that X Factor day once again to keep moving up in the points. He missed a couple of races at Donington Park, I do believe, and really set him back, but the wins are helping at the very least for driver number 1.
Yeah, exactly. And well, he's in second place right now. You can see with the help of the slipstream, he's less than 1/10 of a second behind Pagnin. So, you know, trying to get the momentum back, trying to repeat, as you mentioned, what he did at Brands Hatch. And hopefully, you know, we can see him bouncing back, you know, seeing him obviously at the top and bringing that charge, closing that championship fight is going to be not only good for him, but also great for us watching as well. But as you can see, Andrew, this is the other side of a qualifying. You know, for you to get a great lap time, sometimes luck just has to be on your side. You have to get a really good slipstream, but also not be held back on corners. You know, especially on the middle sector right there, it's just so tight. Sometimes you cannot really find a way through, and if you have to overtake in qualifying, you're losing time.
All pros then in the top 10 so far in qualifying. Your first non-pro driver is actually an amateur here, JP. Adam Height looking pretty good in the number 997. 11th place so far, just a bit behind James Neve, and you can see the gap ahead is only a little over 1.5 seconds, a little under 2 seconds as he comes alongside Andy McEwen right there at the line to finish up another lap. And look at that, Adam Height goes even faster. Does it stand? Yes, up to a 2:07.826. That puts him inside of 1.5 seconds up to first, but he does stay outside of the top 10.
Yeah, just barely, but it's really good to see an amateur driver being that close to the overall top 10. Obviously, you could argue that as they nearly made contact there into the happen. Not quite close, as you can see now. Guilford, he's in 12th place, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be the pole sitter for the Pro-Am class. So, you know, just behind, not that big of a gap, quite close. I'm pretty sure he might just be saving the best for last. Not quite sure if he's going to have enough time to go out. But as we switch back to Adam Height, well, I mean, he's having the time of his life, I'd say. You know, pole position on the amateur class, right now in 12th place, just dropping, a place to Neve. Looking quite good.
I'd say Adam Height is poised for success here today. You see the rest of the, well, not the rest of the field, but a lot more of the field working through the infield section, getting back up onto the track here momentarily. One thing we do want to talk about, obviously, has got to be the bus stop. There is a new curb. In fact, we can kind of show it here. If you look It might be a little hard to see from this vantage point, but there is a brand new curb on the inside of the bus stop. It's the third bit of yellow curbing through here. If from this vantage point, it is the second one away from us. There is a new sausage curb there, and as these cars come on through, they just might, one or two might hit them. We've got a whole pack coming through, but that new sausage curbing was installed really mostly when NASCAR came here earlier on in 2021 to get the 2021 season going, and it has been reinstalled with the return of IMSA later this month. Daytona is, in fact, using that curbing on the inside of the third apex through the bus stop, and that's going to change things up, especially for these guys in Miatas. These are momentum cars. You want to straight line everything, right? You want to straighten out the racing line as much as you can, and I guarantee you we will see multiple drivers hit that curb on the inside of the bus stop.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's going to be quite a sight. You know, obviously with the Miatas, not as stiff as some of the other race cars. We might see cars even on two wheels. I'm not quite sure if they can flip, but we're definitely going to see some of them in two wheels. As you can see, a few drivers making a few mistakes. You can easily make a mistake on the bus stop. You just come in so fast, especially with the slipstream that these guys have. We saw last week in Spa, Andrew, if you remember, drivers catching nearly half a second on the back straight heading into Blanchimont. So, I mean, on a straights like this around Daytona, definitely we're going to see more of the same, if not, you know, a graded effect.
Marcelo Pagnan stays on top of the field in qualifying. Adam Height is back up into 11th. He had briefly been knocked out of 11th spot, but now back up into 11th. Well, actually, no, now 12th. I think that might have just changed again. I don't know. Regardless, Paul Duncan is now your Pro-Am pole sitter. That changes and puts Gulliford back as Luke Cooper passes all these guys and puts Adam Height down into 13th and Paul Duncan now into 14th. Adam Holloway just set a heater and moved up into 24th overall. That is going to be good for 1, 2, I want to say 3, 4, 5th. In Pro-Am, so a pretty good lap there out of Holloway, and I believe the timer is just elapsed, right? So we're now into overflow time for these guys, which means I'll have a chance to get one more lap in if they started that lap before the time elapsed.
Yeah, this is going to be the last chance for some of these guys to improve their starting position for race number 1. The only race where you can really show this one lap shootout, essentially, even though it's not one lap, as you can see here now, the teammates trying to work together. Looks like Cooper might just be pulling the train this lap, so quite hard to say if he's going to be improved. Casper DeCourt, he's in 3rd place overall, 2nd place. If you look at this 3-car pack, he's going to be, he's going to be helped by the slipstream of his teammate. That's going to help him propel. The question is, Andrew, can he pull away nearly 0.6 of a second to snatch pole out of the number 39 driver?
We'll see if Casper can grab that half second that he needs. Chris Knox is also working on a new lap. He is actually going to come across the line here in just one moment, so we will stay on board here with the number 23. Look at all of this ahead of him. This is a fantastic opportunity as it looks like Seal drops onto the apron. McEwen in the middle. Does Knox go any faster? Yes, and he goes ahead of the 5-star Motorsport guys and Jason Cooper and Casper DeCourt, but does not grab pole. Now a look at the number 1 and number 5 as they work up off of the banking in NASCAR 3 and 4. Jason Cooper will come across the line first. Casper DeCourt, though, with the slipstream, we'd imagine should go faster. No, they are both pitting. Their laps are not going to stand.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, not quite close enough. Maybe not just the best run overall through the middle sector. As you can see now, Dalman trying to finish his laps. Looks like he's going to be all alone. Yeah, you can see her current time, 2:10. He's not going to be improving. Griffiths, can he improve? Not quite as well. So looks like what we have right now might
James
be
Clark
looks
did
like
up to 4th.
Yeah, he just improved. So, well, looks like one driver managed to improve. And, well, 4th place. He must be really happy. He's splitting the teammates as well.
Yeah, it gets in between Cooper and DeCourt. What that means, though, is Jason Cooper and Casper DeCourt are actually in a better situation as a result. That means they will now start nose to tail. And when you come to the World Center of Racing, that is exactly what you want. You can link up, start drafting from the get-go. Now, obviously, the infield will change that up a little bit, but you at least know into turn 1, you guys are lined up, and you're not going to crash each other, at least ideally. You're not going to crash each other into that first corner. And after having run the Roar this past weekend and seeing Miata Racing firsthand, along with, obviously, Touring Car and GT4 Racing, having seen that all firsthand, that kind of security behind me would have been nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I would just copy your words. You know, you took your words out of mine. But as you mentioned, this start is going to be really important. this might be the shortest run down to turn 1, isn't it, Andrew, that we had so far? I'm pretty sure it is. Might be the shortest run to turn 1 of the whole calendar.
You know, Knockhill might have some words to say about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double check that.
Knockhill might have something to say. Donington, certainly down to Redgate, there's plenty of room there. Knockhill may have something to say about the shortest run to the first corner. Yeah, I think Knockhill will be a nice little short run. I'm excited for Knockhill, by the way, next week. That will be, I think, a whole lot of fun. I've never seen proper racing at Knockhill, and to have it on the sim all of a sudden is going to be a whole lot of fun. We've got gridding underway now, and already drivers are getting ready to go racing for 15 minutes in race number 1. Let's take a look then at your starting grid. We'll go through the top 10, then the rest will scroll on by. Marcelo Pagden with pole. Chris Knox will start from 2nd place. Starting 3rd on the inside of row number 2, that's Jason Cooper for 5-Star Motorsports. James Clark of Cooper Racing will start from 4th. Starting from 5th, that's Casper DeCourt in the number 5. Adam Delmont rolls off 6th. Starting 7th in this first race, it's Nick Clibbins, Tom Griffiths, and Lars Fisher and Dan Mold will round out your top 10. So good starting spot there for Dan Mold as well. Luke Cooper there in 11th. The rest of these guys will go on by. It is worth noting, though, that Paul Duncan will grab your Pro-Am pole, and Adam Height will grab your Am pole. JP, we are already getting lights out, actually. We'll have to let that sit for another time. That's how quickly this all happens. They all get gridded up. They're ready to go racing. Standing starts at Daytona on the 18-degree banking. Let's go racing. Oh, Andy McEwen around in turn 1, right at the exit. He gets going backwards onto the grass. A good save there, honestly, to reduce contact for Andy McEwen. There might have been one more spin through the S's. Everybody else works on through 2 and into the International Horseshoe, and 1 goes off. That is the 578 of... I'm actually not quite sure of the 578. Julian Schroer, that's who that is.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks. I'm not quite sure if he's stuck, but he's not moving, at least for the time being. As you can see here, up at the front, looks like everybody's going to make it through. We're still having 2 wide battles for 2nd place. That's going to allow the leader to at least build a nice little gap. Not quite close enough to break the slipstream, as you can see the rest of the field. And yeah, there you go. There's single file. Looks like they're going to get a good exit. As you can see, the rest of the field is essentially going, well, one line into the entry.
Oh, that's a crash. One car around.
Oh, there we go.
And that is Adam Height. Adam Height, your amateur pole sitter, has spun out of turn 6, gets that car stopped and backs up. Now look at this field. Just that single file train as they work on through the banking.
They're just trying to get it, the greatest run possible, trying to overtake. I'm pretty sure some of these guys probably take some overtakes early on. As you can see, a couple drivers going side by side as we head into the bus stop. This is just a great sight, isn't it, Andrew? Just so great to see
on the curving
so
already.
Many Miatas. Oh, there we go. We're seeing 2-wheel actions from the Miatas. There we go, another one. A couple of drivers cutting the course. We might see a couple time penalties, but as you can see now, those drivers on the outside, they're going to be on the back foot.
Chris Knox, one of those drivers challenging up front. He's to the inside behind Marcelo Pagden, who's still leading. And now your 5-star teammates are going to go wide and try and fight here up to the start-finish line. Lap number 1 going to come to a close as Casper DeCourt is suddenly your race leader. Jason Cooper 2nd, and what a finish that would have been.
Yeah, that would have been essentially a NASCAR finish. Absolutely beautiful. Nearly going 3 wide. We actually are going 3 wide into turn 1. That did not end badly. That actually went great. Cooper still in the lead. Dalman's trying to snatch that away. Are they side by side? Not quite. Might just see them following back. Dalman now trying to defend from Casper DeCourt. Looks like Pagnan dropped all the way down into 4th place, fighting with Chris Knox. Boy, oh boy, this is just the first lap, Andrew.
Yeah, there's still so much more even after these opening laps get completed up here. Now, we had 6-lap races last week at Spa. That worked for both both days of racing, both Miatas on Tuesdays and touring cars on Thursday. Today we'll have 7-lap races, at least that's the expectation, as your first battle on the racetrack is side-by-side here with Marcelo Pagnan and Chris Knox now, as Casper DeCourt works on in front of that number 39, but Chris Knox wants that spot.
He wants that spot. He's going to have the inside line. That's just my favorite. Him, getting that slipstream from Casper DeCourt. As you can see now, we're on board with Klibbins, who's trying to decide, who am I going to follow? Am I going to follow Chris Knox, or I'm going to follow Pagnan? Pagnan is still trying to slot in behind Knox. We're nearly going to go 3 wide. Klibbins is going to be left out for dust. They're still 2 wide. I'm not quite sure where Pagnan is finding the straight line speed, but somehow he is. Now we go back into single file racing. Knox gets the position, at least for the time being, as we all break. As you can see, everybody nearly single line through the bus stop. Well, I'm just going to keep saying for 728 laps overall tonight, Andrew. That's a great sight.
Do enjoy watching an entire field work on through the bus stop here at Daytona. Everybody gets on through nice and cleanly. Here's Marcelo Pagnan trying to make a pass back on Chris Knox. This would be for 4th position as Casper DeCourt and Adam Delmont go side by side. And actually, Casper is alongside his teammate Jason Cooper here trying to make a pass before he gets to the line. That works. And look at Marcelo work the draft up to 3rd. Can he get 2nd at the line? Yes, indeed he does. We're going to have to watch this side draft as the race goes on.
Yeah, that's definitely a new strategy. I wasn't really expecting the side draft to work as brilliantly as it did, but well, there we go. He went all the way down from 5th place to 2nd in a matter of 2 straightaways. Well, 2 banked straightaways. But yeah, that's just how easy it is. Cooper drops from 1st to 3rd. Knox is fighting, looks like Delmont, as we're looking a little bit behind with Paul Donking. He's going a little bit deeper, but looks like no contact with him. Boy, oh boy, just so many battles, just like we were used to, and, well, just like we were used to, Andrew, I'm not quite sure which one we should follow.
We're on Paul Duncan right now as our Pro-Am leader, rather, in the 11th position, right behind Lars Fischer, who's fallen back from his teammates a little bit. As you can see, the battles into the West Horseshoe here. Tom Griffiths is behind Paul Donkin, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tom moves up through this field a whole lot more quickly as this race goes on. He's able to work through some of these battles. James Neve is behind him, as actually Michael Hall and James Neve will be doing some battle. Michael Hall, one of the other Pro-Am drivers in that 512 GoPro on the side, and look at Michael Seal as well, as one car I think is crashing. We've got a little bit of contact anyways here in turn number 6. Adam Petman maybe, and Roger Morton, there it is.
There it is. That's a crash out of the, well, turn 7, I guess you could say. And, well, that's just something that will happen, isn't it, Andrew? That's such a tricky corner. You spin by yourself sometimes on GT cars, but this time was definitely contact. These cars don't really get that loose under braking as we cut back for the battle for the lead.
Oh, James Clark!
James
boy.
Clark. Oh, that could be a big one, but not quite. Looks like only one. Yeah, no, 2 cars. At least you can see the headlights coming in from your right-hand side. He's going to be rejoining carefully. Oh, wow. Oh, we have another car going really wide, but looks like the rest of the field manages to avoid.
That's Michael Lees way off in the grass there, an amateur driver. Good job to get back on the track, though. Slides in right behind Craig Schill. That's 27th position, as here are the leaders way up front. Marcelo Pagnan, 3 wide across the line again. They will go. Court follows in behind Marcelo. Knox going to have a run up the inside. He is going to look. Thankfully, doesn't step on the Lego brake and stays behind him.
Oh, he's just watching Delmont. He nearly rear-ended Jason Cooper, the number 1 driver, but looks like he just managed to avoid. He lost the position to Knox doing that, but, well, I'm pretty sure he'll take it over a damaged car, especially on a track like this. As you can see now, Cooper going side-by-side with Knox on the International Horseshoe, but looks like Cooper might just have that position for the time being. Knox trying to get a better exit to maybe line up a move as they head into the 2nd hairpin, as you mentioned, just separated by this small kink. Pagnan leading, Court in 2nd, Cooper in 3rd, as we do have another driver looks like having trouble on the International Horseshoe.
Douglas Stewart and Harley Moss here, and Harley Moss's left rear suspension has collapsed. Oh, the whole rear suspension has collapsed on that 514.
Oh my God, I'm not quite sure how that happened. That must have been a big hit, maybe into the tire barrier, maybe just rear-ended. But, well, either way, how that happened, that's going to be his race over, at least for race number 1, obviously. And that's just heartbreaking, happening in race number 1. Obviously not eligible for the invert, right, Andrew? You won't be able to, so you're going to have to start on that position. So work cut out for the next 3 races to try and salvage any points.
Another pass here as Tom Griffiths goes on by Michael Seal. And Lars Fischer is going to follow Michael Seal with an opportunity, I think, here at some good stuff. Oh, contacts and bump drafting gone awry. Seal with a shot there to Griffiths. This is on board with Lars Fischer. These guys battling for 7th, 8th, and 9th, and I mentioned it. Griffiths would likely get into the top 10. That's happened after all the contact a lap ago, where we saw Dan Mold and some others, James Clark, going into the grass there on the bus stop. Lars has a good opportunity, maybe not to win this race anymore and battle with his teammates, but at least to solidly take a top 10. If he gets up here, if he stays with Griffiths and Seal, that's easily 7th, 8th, 9th for those guys, and even better if the guys up front have issues, although Seal's starting to scare me.
Yeah, that was quite scary. I thought the same. But look at the closing speed, just how quickly you close it to the driver ahead of you. You can see now, look like Seal is going to be going down the inside. Looks like the two of them might just be following one another. Looks like Griffiths might just be losing 2 positions. Fischer trying to get another position as well. Looks like he might just be able to on the inside line. Griffiths is going to be losing another position. Is that Hall? Yeah, he just gets the position.
Now, Michael Hall is now your Pro-Am leader, moving up into 9th position overall, ahead of Tom Griffiths. Paul Donkin is actually, Griffiths going to fight up the inside now of this 512. Paul Donkin has fallen back a little bit. Good catch there from Michael Hall, setting that car way out sideways on the exit there of the International Horseshoe. Donkin is now down to 12th, so 2 cars behind Michael Hall here. He is that Red Bull livery chasing the GoPro livery, if you will. That 7 car in between them. The next Pro-Am car is Jamie Gulliford right behind with Liam Silkstone there as well. And then Adam Holloway would wrap up your Pro-Am top 10 currently. Your amateur leader has changed. It is now Colin Sansom. Sansom, rather. I'm going to have to get that one right. Colin Sansom in the number 976. His closest competition, when we said Adam Mitchinson wouldn't be there, that has changed. Adam Mitchinson clearly very much in the race and is battling for the amateur race lead with 5 minutes to go at Daytona.
Yeah, just what we expected when we saw Mitchinson. I guess what we expected as soon as we got surprised by his name. There we go. He's now going to be taking the lead, just as we mentioned it. So the leader of the amateur championship takes the lead of the amateur class. Just like that, Andrew. We thought he wasn't in the race. He was going to concede that lead. Well, not quite soon, as they both nearly made contact. That would have been terrible for both of their championships. Looks like Mitchinson might have to defend as they come into the bus stop, quite taking a compromised line. Will that hurt him on the exit? Only time will tell as he makes his way through. No, looks like he quite nailed it actually, and he creates even a bit of a gap. Look at that.
Obviously, that gap will be erased by turn number 1 when the draft kicks in, much like these guys up front. 4 minutes to go. Knox going to have the push from Casper to Court across the line, and that is a pass at the line. Chris Knox, your leader at the start-finish, to go on to lap number 6, and the pace is picked up to where we're going to get an 8th lap.
There you go. That's, just working. Essentially, this is teamwork from the whole top 6. Just allowing the driver ahead, just going side by side through a few corners. But on the straight lines, there's no blocking. There's no defensive driver just holding their line. And that's just allowing them to pick up the pace. And look at the gap that they have down to 7th. It's 1.2 between 1st and 6th. And then you drop all the way to 6 seconds as you find Tom Griffiths. So quite a big gap between those two. The leaders, they're not going to break anyway. If you don't make a mistake on this top 6, you're eligible for the win.
This will be a good way to visualize the gap as they work out of the West Horseshoe and towards turn 6. Look at the gap from 6th place Nick Clibbins back to 7th place Tom Griffiths as he rounds the bend. That is enough to keep Tom Griffiths out of the draft as they will round turn 6, head up onto the banking, and head through NASCAR turn 1, road course turn 7, and a nose chop there from Chris Knox. He's going to have to be careful of that as this race goes on. As the day goes on, really.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful. I thought he was going to the wall. He took a really wide line as they entered the oval section of the racetrack. As you can see him getting bumped, getting pushed by Paganin. So no one really wants to overtake heading to the bus stop. They know that it will only slow them down. Just as I mentioned, that looks like we're nearly going too wide back there. Not quite. They all fall back into, single file. But now look at the run that Paganin's going to have. Even look at the run that Cooper's going to have. He has his teammate right behind him. So even more bump drafting for all of them. We might just see another change for the lead.
Jason Cooper, Casper to Court up on the banking. Casper going to go low. Jason stays high. And they will swap to where Casper now leads that duo. If you remember back years prior with NASCAR where they used to tandem draft, that's exactly what they would do. They would swap. They would leapfrog and put themselves well out front. I think we're starting to see that with these teammates as Chris Knox and Marcelo Pagman swap hands of the lead. And now we're on to lap 7. We do not have white flag yet. I'm actually kind of surprised. I would think this would be the white flag, but we're not being told white just yet. We're being told 2 to go.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you're in second, third, fourth place, you're just going to want an extra lap. For first place, well, you might just want this to be done and dusted. Well, just hoping to be done as quickly as possible. Now the question is, who will take this lead? Because those teammates, Casper Decor, Jason Cooper, looks like they have mastered that technique.
Oh, Adam Height! Adam Height gets into Roger Morton. Morton spins. This is 3rd and 4th in amateur. And Ben Williams comes in. Oh, my goodness. There was a lot of time. A lot of time there.
Oh, that's just unfortunate. Not quite sure who rear-ended, but oh
that was Ben Williams.
That was Ben Williams. Just, I'm not quite sure if he had enough time to react, but that's just so unfortunate.
These guys work on through the infield. Marcelo Pagnan up front. He has gapped up Chris Knox, at least for the moment, but that's not going to stop Chris Knox from having a run later on in this lap. They're going to get a big draft here on the banking in 1 and 2 and draft right up. In fact, Knox is going to go high. I think he's trying to set himself up for a good final lap as Casper DeCourt goes low. Is he going to challenge the inside for the bus stop? I don't think so. He stayed back pretty intelligently. Oh, he is?
Yeah. He nearly went for it. But yeah, I dare say, Andrew, you might just be better off having a 4/10 gap to first place than having a 1/10 gap. That just allows you to build up more and more speed to just essentially fly past him. Look at it, Jason Cooper now trying to get past Chris Knox. Obviously, Chris is taking advantage of, well, Casper DeCourt's slipstream. Who's going to finish? Look at this. This is just going to be a drag race to the line.
Casper now moves up in front of Jason Cooper to help Jason out. This is white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art, so this is for the checkers. Oh, this is to the line for the checkered flag in race number 1. Jason Cooper at the line.
Wow, just stole that from his teammate.
And Casper set him up for it.
Yeah, absolutely. He just helped his teammate, obviously giving him the slipstream. Wow, that's just teamwork at its finest.
Everybody else comes across the line. Winning Pro-Am is Michael Hall in 9th overall. Winning Amateur is going to be Adam Mitchinson in contact with Thortullo across the line. No, actually, that might have been Thor and Colin Sansom regardless. Mitchinson does win Amateur, Sansom in 2nd, and 3rd in Amateur is Adam Height over Craig Schill and Roger Morton, and everybody else will come across the start-finish line and wrap up race number 1. Wow.
Wow, indeed. I mean, that race, the top 6 was absolutely fantastic. The rest of the grid was absolutely fantastic. But boy, oh boy, that finish, I was not expecting that to happen. I was expecting maybe just a switch from 1st to 2nd. The whole top 5 essentially just switched, in a blink of an eye.
That is one way for these guys to have a nice little race. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. What else to say? That's almost speechless after that one for sure. Race number 1 then in the books. We will fire up the one, the only, the tried and trusty spinny wheel for all of you to get an idea of what we have for the first invert of the day. Same values as per usual. A couple of 10s, a couple of 23s, a 25, a 19. A whole lot of variety here, and it's going to be 23 for your first invert. That will flip just over half of the field around, and in fact what that does is put 88 Tech driver Craig Schill on pole. We'll have the full rundown here in just one moment. In fact, right now.
There you go. So the full unofficial results, Jason Cooper stole it by 37 thousandths of a second from his teammate Marcelo Pagnan. Well, Casper DeCourt, obviously in 2nd place. Marcelo Pagnan holding off to a top 3. Chris Knox just falling back in 4th place, just ahead, just literally 12 thousandths of a second ahead of Adam Delmont. Then you go a bit backwards to Nick Clibbins in 6th place, quite a big gap. Then to Tom Griffiths, the whole top 6, Andrew, within a second. I don't think I've ever saw that. That's kind of crazy. Tom Griffiths finished 7th place. Look at that gap as well from 7th to 8th. Michael Seeley in 8th. Michael Hall is going to be winning the Pro-Am class in 9th place, and Lars Fischer is going to be holding to a top 10, well, in 10th place.
Wrapping this race up in the 11th position overall is James Neve, the number 7. Liam Silkstone finishes 12th overall. That is good for 2nd in Pro-Am competition. Jamie Gulliford then in 3rd in Pro-Am. Paul Duncan takes 4th. Adam McNally finishes 15th. Adam Holloway in 16th. Adam Mitchinson wins in Amateur and finishes 17th overall. Andy McEwen, not a great run for him in this first race. I know he'll want to turn that around, especially with that starting spot he's about to get. He will start from the 6th position, I do believe, for race number 2. Finishes 18th here in race number 1. Then it's Glenn Humberstone, Adam Height wrapping up the top 20. And as I said, Craig Schill, no! The results have changed a bit. I think we had a couple of disqualifications from penalties at the end because Craig Schill is no longer the pole sitter. It will be Douglas Stewart, just over Roger Morton, and Craig Schill leading us to the line.
Yeah, looks like Craig Schill is going to be starting 3rd place on the 2nd row. Roger Morton, as you mentioned, 2nd place. Douglas Stewart somehow comes back with the invert pole. If he finished 25th, Andrew, and is starting 23rd, I bet you he's a happy man right now. Duncan Cope in 24th place ahead of Ben Williams. Adam Patman is going to be starting in 26th place. He's going to be finishing, not starting, finishing 26th place. Fiona Siddons in 27th. Thor Tulo in 28th. 29th will go to Colin Sansam. And Dan Mold is going to be finishing off in 30th place.
Finishing 31st in race number 1 is Luke Cooper, somebody that we've not seen, I think, since Donington Park. So good to see him back in the lineup. Wayne Douglas with 32nd. Then it's Kevin McGlone, 1 lap down as well. Now, those two, I believe, would have been eligible for the invert if we had gotten full. So imagine if we had inverted the top 33. Because I do believe as long as you start the final lap on the lead lap. I think that's kind of how that goes. That way, in case you wreck on that last lap, but for some reason it scores you 1 lap down. I think that's the caveat. I could be wrong. Michael Lee's 34th, Harley Moss 35th, James Clark, James Sharp, they're in 36th and 37th respectively. Nathan Davies, a really, really poor run there in race number 1, 38th. Mark Oliver 39th, and Adam Fox in 40th.
Yeah, unfortunately there for Nathan. Julian Schroer as well, unfortunately, he's going to be pretty sure a lap 1 victim in 41st place. But that, Andrew, that's our grid for race number 1. And, well, we have 3 more to go. I can't wait.
And just in case you, for some reason, decide to tune out after this first race, well, first of all, we don't recommend doing so, but secondly, we want you to be aware of some of the upcoming broadcasts here at Pitstop TV for some good reason, actually. If we bring this graphic up, you'll see something new to it, but first of all, later this evening, it's the Nork iRacing Series at 7 Eastern. It is the Norktona Truck 250. That means we've got trucks right back here. We're going to flip the clock around, I think. It might be a night race. I think we'll see, actually. It could be a night race for that one. Regardless, finally, JP, we aren't crossing the world to get to our second broadcast of a Tuesday. It's just at the same venue. Isn't that kind of cool? From Daytona to Daytona. Then, tomorrow, we have something new. That is the Ferrari GT3 Challenge round at Hungaroring. Now, Ferrari GT3 Challenge on iRacing is an official series, which means, guys, if you're watching this, we have tried to line this time slot up perfectly with all of you BSR folks so that hopefully you can stack this split and maybe even make it into top split where we are going to be broadcasting from the Hungaroring tomorrow. That is 7:45 UK time, 2:45 Eastern. They're 15-minute races. Ferrari GT3s, I mean, what isn't to love? It's going to be a nice, quick race, a nice way for us to kind of get into the official racing category here on iRacing and kind of see how that goes. It is an official series open to D-Class members and up, so if you are a rookie, if you're new to iRacing, you do have to work up into D-Class, but once you do so, you will be eligible for the Ferrari GT3 Challenge, and the nice thing is, again, it's one manufacturer, it's Ferrari only, and you only have to get then that one car. It happens to be one of the best cars on the sim for racing, JP, so a really good series to get into. I enjoy running it myself. I'm looking forward to seeing how things go tomorrow at the Hungaroring, and of course, BSRTC returns here to Daytona later in the week. I'm just really, really excited to bring Ferrari GT3 Challenge onto the channel.
Yeah, that's so much fun. That's one of the pillars, you could say, of road racing. That's just a natural progression from the Miatas. We have the rookie Miatas. You just go to Ferrari. You learn a lot from the GT cars. Obviously, as you mentioned, one manufacturer, fixed setup, 15-minute races, so just short, quick races. If anything happens, you just retry, learn your mistakes, and build up your confidence once again. And obviously, that's just so much fun. Obviously, covering it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And just as you saw, our social media, you definitely should follow us for all those updates that we're going to bring you guys live. Obviously, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere else you can think, we're there.
Race number 1 in the books from Daytona. We're going to take a step aside, but look at this overhead of the Daytona International Speedway. Man, place looks fantastic when it's lit up at night. We've got race number 2 on the way shortly. It's an invert of 23 for the British sim racers. Don't go anywhere. This is Pit Stop TV.
Wanna cry. Wanna cry.
Welcome back to the virtual Daytona International Speedway. You can see only a minute and a half left in practice already. That's how quickly we get things rolling here at the British Sim Racers. Race number 2 on the way, JP. We just saw a really, really fun race number 1, and it's time to take this 40-some car field, flip them around a little bit, and do it all over again.
Yes, absolutely. That was just an absolute blast. Obviously, right now with 23 cars being inverted, that's just going to be, a whole new challenge. Obviously, the top six group that we're following, they're going to be starting all the way back in 23rd and below. So, it's just going to be a complete different monster for them, just to work their way through the grid, trying to get as high up as they can, without an instance, essentially, because if you just break your slipstream, we saw Andrew, the gap from 6th to 7th was 7 seconds.
Yeah, if you are not in that front group, you're going to have a rough time of things. It's not like you can just set down really good laps and make up a few seconds at Daytona. It doesn't work that way because of the draft. So you've got to make sure that you are on top of it the entire race. You cannot get behind. I do love the scenes from Lake Lloyd here. That is very nice to see with the animated water. So iRacing, props to you. That looks fantastic as time will run out here on practice. Let's see. Do we think we see a Pro-Am or an amateur win this race overall?
I wouldn't count that possibility out. We saw them nearly winning, especially if you remember Brands Hatch on raw pace. On Daytona, you need raw pace. Let's not disagree on that, but you also need luck. I definitely think luck could be on their side today. It will be really, really good to see one of them winning on the overall category. Well, let's see. 15 minutes, Andrew. Everything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, it is Daytona. Literally anything can happen. If you've ever watched a NASCAR race here, you'll kind of know what we're talking about as we get ready for race number 2. And starting up front again, that should be... Oh, man. I've lost it, and timing and scoring is not being my friend right now. We will see in just one moment, though, as we get ready to go. If I could just find our speed shot. There it is. You can see that... Oh, man. We got to find out. Let me... ATVO has not been our friend lately here at Pit Stop TV, despite it being what we run things on. Let's roll up through the field. We want to see who is starting up front, and we went right on by it. Up front, that's the 579 of Douglas Stewart. Yes, I was thinking Wayne Douglas. I had the Douglas part right, but just slightly wrong there. Roger Morton completes your front row with Craig Schill starting from the 3rd position. We're really just waiting on the time to run down. And already you're seeing that. Red lights are on, waiting on green lights here, and race number 2 will get underway. Standing start up on the 18-degree banking, and we are ready to race at Daytona. A little bit of contact through turn 1. Everybody else goes on through. Oh, never mind. A big logjam here in the S's right out of turn 1. Dan Mold is one of the ones that I think has been turned around first. It looks like Andy McEwen. No, Colin Sansom maybe is part of this. Yes, that is Dan Mold. Broadside on the track. The 599 is around. That is Jamie Gulliford. Adam Fox is a part of this. And more mayhem up to the International Horseshoe.
Looks like everything that didn't happen on race number 1 is happening on race number 2. As you mentioned, a lot of incidents. I saw quite a few cars starting from the pit lane, Andrew, so they got a ton of free positions for them. So they're right back in the race. As you can see, a lot of separation between a few groups already. It looks like this is the front pack heading into turn number 7. The leader goes a little bit wide. That's definitely going to hurt him on the run down into the bus stop. As you can see, the rest of the grid essentially going, single file except for a few cars battling.
Crashing here.
You have more contact. Oh, looks like he's going to be facing the wrong way. As you mentioned, Patrick.
That's Nick Clibbins around, who we saw a lot of in race 1.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He was on the front pack, wasn't he? So already a terrible start for him on race number 2.
3 wide will go down the Daytona Super Stretch. Down to the bus stop. The leader, if you can believe it, is Roger Morton down to the bus stop in contact there, and we've got another crash. This is a big one. Rolling away from it is Douglas Stewart right into the racing line. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was just so close between being a disaster and just, well, just a bad rejoin. But luckily for him, looks like everybody made it through. We're still going, looks like nearly 3 wide for the lead. I'm not quite sure who's the leader right now. I'm quite lost in everything that happened. But look at that, 3 wide for first and 3 wide for fourth nearly.
Up front, it is Paul Duncan, Adam Holloway, and Craig Schill coming to lead lap number 1. Your first pro is James Neve in 5th, and across the line, that is Paul Duncan out front, leading the first lap of race number 2. Neve around the outside of Fisher. That is your first pro battle as everybody files back into turn number 1, and Neve went wide. That puts Fisher now up into 3rd, and your pro leader. So each of your top 3 spots are your class leaders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the big send from Schill! That moves Duncan up out of the way. 3 wide for the International Horseshoe. And Fisher takes the race lead. 3 wide, Holloway on the right.
What an absolutely amazing lap 2 for Fisher. He just saw, I mean, everybody just making way for him. He jumps all the way down from 5th place, if I'm not mistaken, to 1st. As you can see, the battle for 2nd is definitely not over. Schill goes really deep, but looks like he's just going to be able to hold on into 3rd place. Can he? Looks like he might just have the place for now. Duncan is going to be going to the inside line. Could Schill maybe just lunge down, hit his inside? Not quite. So Fisher from Duncan, from Schill to Holloway and Height.
Good stuff here. Duncan, Schill, Holloway, Height, the non-pro drivers in this top 10. McEwen, Neve, Knox, Delmont, Griffiths. They have put themselves in nice positions. Andy McEwen, though, has fallen back a little bit from where he started this race. He started, what, 4th or 5th? He's now 6th. And I think kind of missed the mark on this opportunity. Andy had a great shot to take this race lead, and I think was part of a couple of those incidents that first lap. And you can see that left side mirror is knocked off the car. A bit of left side damage just over that rear wheel. And look at this. Lars Fischer has just lost the race lead through the bus stop. Duncan takes it over. Schill moves up into 2nd. Holloway and Neve are going to square up on the back end of the 96, and McEwen's going to try and follow.
Yeah, Fisher dropped all the way from 1st to 3rd place. Looks like he was a bit cautious, just trying to make it through until the end of the race on this lead pack. That's all you need to do. Looks like he might just be on the defensive. You can see the number 7 looking on the outside, trying to get the slipstream from Craig Schill, actually, who just takes the lead on the outside. Looks like Fisher moves up. Everything is happening. We're nearly going 4 wide, Andrew, as we cross the start-finish line. Who's going to be leading? That's going to be Fisher somehow. He leads the race. Neve goes into 2nd. We're going 3 wide into turn 1. This could only end badly, but somehow everybody makes it through in one piece. Oh boy.
A couple of side-by-sides got pretty close there through turn 1 and through the S's again, but the field works on down to the International Horseshoe. The top 12, I think, 13 even, are all one group. A couple of sends there, but we keep racing. Oh my goodness, this is hard. I don't even know who's where.
Yeah, me neither. Looks like I just know that Fisher is leading by 7/10 of a second. The rest of the grid, well, it's still all up for grabs for these guys. As you can see, Trevor's going 2 wide into the kinks. You don't see that every single day, but somehow they all make it through. As you can see, drivers moving up positions left, right, and center, trying to dodge one another, trying to find their way through the racetrack amongst other drivers. I mean, Andrew, this. If you just showed this shot and said it was qualifying, I would have 100% believed you.
On to lap number 3 now of 7. Lars Fischer, your race leader. We're on the lead group. Paul Duncan is 2nd. That is Chris Knox in the multicolored Lego machine. Craig Schill is 2nd place. Adam Delmont is 3rd. James Neve is... Delmont is 5th. Schill is 4th. Neve in the 7, the black and yellow 7 is 6th. McEwen in the green and purple 4 is 7th. And that's kind of how they sort out up front. They will go into the bus stop one more time. A lot more single file now. These guys playing a bit more nicely.
Yeah, just, well, took, oh, what is this? Lap 3, lap 4, I've lost count, but looks like everybody makes it through, just in one, as you mentioned, a single file. Everybody looks like, well, just as I mentioned, that looks like we're going to have a battle for 4th place. That's going to be between Schill and Delmont. Delmont might just be looking around the outside. That's going to be, well, that's already done. Looks like he might just be having to defend from McEwen right behind him. As you can see, the rest of the field just driving on by our static camera. And as you can see, Paul Duncan right now takes the lead, looks like, from Knox. Fisher, Delmont is in 4th place right now.
That's Duncan across the line. Knox, Fisher, 2nd and 3rd. Delmont, 4th. Schill, 5th. And I mean, this is just This is a lot up front, and that second group is pretty darn close. Really, you've got the entire top 18 within one group of each other, within 5 seconds or so. That second group, it gets a little more spaced out, but they are still nice and close as everybody works on into the International Horseshoe once more.
Yeah, I would dare say that's not two groups. That's just one massive group, as you mentioned. Nearly the entire top 20 on one shot, as you can see. Yeah, now I can see a bit of separation. So there you go, two groups. But look at this first one. I dare say anyone on this first group can still win this race if they just, well, make their overtakes on the timely manner. Don't lose as much time. As you can see, it looks like the 510 making a move down the inside of turn number 5. He gets that position done. And, well, there you go. We just Adam Holloway. Just do what he did. Isn't that what you need, Andrew?
Oh,
just
in the height, and he gets turned around by Griffiths. This is in front of the entire field in turn 6, and he has an opportunity to reverse and cross up. Go, 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 and thankfully, he gets going before cars hit him. That could have been disastrous.
That could have been disaster. Well, that's commentator's curse for us. Don't do what Holloway did. Unfortunately, he's going to be losing a lot of spots as we look now. Knox is trying to get the lead. Look at Fisher closing the door on Delmont quite aggressively. Paul Donkin is going to be losing first. He's going to be dropping all the way down in 4th place. Fisher challenging down the inside of Knox into the bus stop. Donkin's going to be going cautious, and he might just lose 4th place as well. Not quite this time by. Now Fisher is trailing. Well, he's in front of Knox, who's in front of Delmont, and Donkey is in 4th place.
Looking further back, it looks like Craig Schill may be part of a battle here. Up onto the banking, Neve and McEwen in line behind. And Jason Cooper is back in the top 10. Adam Height hangs on to a top 10 position as well in the 9th spot after being hit there a moment ago. And look at this, up front. A side-by-side for the race lead again. You get some momentum there, back there with Neve and McEwen as well. Good battles up here in the front of the field. Let's move around a little bit if we can for a moment, hopefully. And, well, no, they're not going to allow us to. I think once you mix this field up like this, we're going to have to be locked up front for the most part. I mean, this is 2-3 wide, and we've got the leader of each class up here.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, well, the leader of each class is in the top 6. As you can see, Knox, Schill, and Donkin for the, pro, amateur, and then pro-am somehow. Everything is mixed up, as you can see. But yeah, Andrew, it's just so hard to get away from this battle, as we can see the entire top 10 essentially in one frame.
Tom Griffiths on board now through the kink, and I gotta say, Daytona, and I talked about it with the water a minute ago. It's such a small thing, Lake Lloyd. Just having that animated water looks really nice. It properly reflects the lights across the racetrack now. iRacing has done a fantastic job. This has recently been redone, rescanned, and rebuilt here in the iRacing.com sim, much like Watkins Glen, but less intensive. They had already done Daytona Rising here at Daytona, just adding in those little bits, and the 3D fencing now around the track as well. It all looks so good. And iRacing, if any one of you employees are ever listening to this broadcast, just know this is a job well done.
This is an absolutely amazing job. I remember when I joined, Daytona was not bland, but just when you compare it to this actual state, it just looks night and day, just so different, and the quality is definitely increasing update by update, and it's just so nice to be a part and just witnessing those small updates that, well, at the end of the day, they just add up on one another and just make the sim look, just on their class, just high quality stuff. And that's what we're all expecting, isn't it, Andrew? But it's just so nice to see the progress.
This is a camera we haven't used with Mianas just yet, a gyro cam, and it works here. Where they're up on the banking like this, 31 degrees on each end of the speedway in NASCAR 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Adam Height drops back onto the short chute up to the tri-oval. That'll be 18 degrees of banking that these drivers start the race on. There we go, 18 degrees right in the center. Adam Height will now fight into turn number 1. He's got Tom Griffiths battling along with him. Griffiths up the inside. Height takes that spot, outbreaks into the corner, but wide, and Griffiths will definitely take it after that.
Yeah, Griffiths will take that 9th place from Height, as you mentioned, just really wide. Oh, contact!
That's Jason Cooper!
Fisher? No, that's Cooper. Wow. Somehow his car keeps pointing in the right direction. I'm not quite sure how much damage that was, but that was the big hit. Who did he make contact with?
Your guess is as good as mine right now, as They survived through the S's and into the kink now. They will go. Fisher drops in behind Cooper. Fisher was a bit wide out of the international horseshoe. These guys are now 6th and 7th, 8th even if you count Adam Height, James Neve 9th, and Tom Griffiths 10th. Look at this battle right here for the top 10 as well. Michael Seal, he's into this battle up front. He is 11th spot, right behind the number 11 of Tom Griffiths. 3 minutes to go. We should get the white flag this time by.
Just barely. Well, might just be like last time out. We might just see the white flag on the final few meters up the racetrack. But as you mentioned, this is going to be a battle for essentially trying to sneak into the top 10. I mean, anything can happen with this last 3 minutes, Andrew. I'm not quite sure who I'm going to be placing my bets on. Look at the top 3. Knox, Schill, and Donkey. Each leader on the top 3 positions. I just noticed that. That's just amazing to look. Looks like Schill might just be going for a move down the inside of the bus stop. He got it. He got the position. That's going to be maybe compromising Knox a little bit, but not quite. Looks like Knox gets a great exit. He's going to be challenging Schill once again for the lead. Donkin, if he can get a good enough run, he might be challenging these both as we head into the start-finish straight.
2 minutes to go. These guys are running 2-minute lap times, a little bit of change. That means this will be the white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art. Donkin now with the nod as he gets a run from Knox, and McEwen is back into all of it. Across the line, white flag is out, presented by Tucson Sound Art.
One more time, one more tour for these guys to get it all sorted out. Who's going to come out on top on turn 1? Looks like Donkin has the inside line.
Oh, they both go wide. McEwen and Schill go through. That's first and second now.
Schill, well, he's going to get the lead. Knox drops all the way down into 5th place. Donkin to 9th place. Schill, McEwen, Cooper, and Delmon. Schill's going to have the inside line. He's going to be having to defend that position with his life. Looks like the number 4, McEwen, goes really wide into the international horseshoe. He's going to be dropping all the way down into 5th place. Delmon now has 2nd place. Cooper in 3rd place. Oh boy, what's going to happen as they enter NASCAR 2 and 3, 1 and 2?
Schill, your race leader. That green Excite car around the outside. Well, now the middle of the West Horseshoe is Delmont. That's 2nd place. The 2 blue and yellow, almost Guelph livery-colored 3rd and 4th position cars of Cooper and, well, actually Fisher and Cooper, as McEwen brings the fight right to Fisher. I don't know. I'm going to give up on talking. I think Andy would do a better job right now anyways. Chris Knox, he slots in behind Lars Fisher. You've got Tom Griffiths there, Paul Donkin, Michael Seal, and Adam Height would wrap up the top 10. This is Fisher and McEwen. Fisher's going to go high. McEwen stays low. Now McEwen maybe looks to block. And up front, Delmont's going to bring the fight to Schill in a moment. This is the bus stop for the final time in race number 2.
Cooper looks like if he goes down the inside of Delmont, he might just be Schill's best friend. I'm not quite sure if he's close enough. Not quite. He's going to be defending. So now Schill has to absolutely nail this exit right here. He's going to, he unfortunately looks like he didn't. Delmont, although he nailed it, he's going to be going high. He's going to be taking that lead for the time being. As you can see, that's going to allow Schill to get it. Yeah, definitely not. He's going to have that side draft. Look at it. But look at McEwen. Maybe 0.4 of a second might just be too much. These are going to be drag racing. Boy, what's going to happen?
Take your bets now. No clue. As we draw closer to the line, here we go. Outside is Delmont, inside is Schill. You can't go below the double yellows. Craig Schill is going to win race number 2. That is our first non-pro winner.
And it comes from an amateur driver. What an absolutely amazing drive from him.
Craig Schill and 88 Tech can celebrate with an overall victory in race number 2 at Daytona. Jason Cooper somehow came across the line in 2nd. Andy McEwen was 3rd. Adam Delmont 4th. We've got a crash at the start-finish line. Massive impacts there. That is Michael Lease, Jamie Gulliford, and James Clark. And Dan Mold now as well.
Oh, looks like Dan Mold was just finishing up his race. He's not going to be able to finish with that damaged card, I don't think.
Oh, who got him at the line? That was Mark Oliver. Mark Oliver got them all at the line, and that was so close. Wow.
So 2 photo finishes. But Andrew, I think the talk of the day for race number 2 has to be Craig Schill.
And Paul Donkin, a top 10 overall, has to be pretty good. I mean, 8th place overall with the amateur Pro-Am win. Adam Height even. We had 2 amateurs in the top 10 with Craig Schill and Adam Height. really solid second race on the day. The unfortunate thing for them is they're about to get inverted back in the field somewhere. Let's find out exactly where they will go as we get ready for race number 3. The second invert on the day. Craig Schill just won. Where is he going to start? The invert, don't make it full. Yeah, let's skip on by that. 17, 19, it's going to be 17. So Craig Schill will now start 17th in race number 3. And somebody that we saw with some bad luck out of turn 6 a little bit ago is going to be the beneficiary of this. Let's go ahead and now look to our race results. JP, here's our top 10 when it's all said and done in race 2.
Craig Schill with an absolutely amazing victory. As Andrew mentioned, he's the first non-pro driver to win a race at the British Sim Racers. Absolutely amazing job. He just finished 63 thousandths of a second ahead of Jason Cooper, 65 thousandths of a second ahead of Andrew McEwen. Those two separated by only 2 thousandths. Adam Dalmont, 75 thousandths of a second behind him. Lars Fischer is going to be finished off in 5th place. Chris Knox in 6th place. Tom Griffiths in 7th. Paul Donkin, our Pro-M Victor, is going to be finished off in 8th place. Adam Hyde in 9th place. And James Neve in 10th place. Top 10 separated by 1.2 seconds. I'm quite happy to see that.
That's your top 10 in race number 2. Remember, the invert is 17 for this next race. Michael Seal finishes 11th. He then will start 7th. Yes, 7th, as Adam McNally will start from 6th after finishing 12th. Douglas Stewart there 13th in this race. Luke Cooper a 14th finishing position. That's going to be good for him then in the start. He will start 14th for race number 3. Liam Silkstone, James Sharp, Nick Clibbins will be your 2 front rows just in the reverse order. Nick Clibbins will have pole for race number 3, and look at how close it was between he and Roger Morton, JP. Roger finishes 18th, just 3/100ths of a second. Sorry, yeah, 3/100ths of a second behind Nick Clibbins. And I think if he had known that was for pole in the next race, he would have treated that one a little bit differently. Marcelo Pagnon, Wayne Douglas, they wrap up the top 20.
Absolutely close between those two. Adam Holloway is going to be finished off in 21st place, just ahead of Adam Hitchison, exactly 20 seconds behind our leader. 23rd will go the way of Ben Williams, just ahead of Duncan Cope. Nathan Davies is going to be finished off in 25th. 26th will go to Colin Sampson. Mark Oliver is going to be finished off in 27th place. James Clark in 28th. Mikael Lees in 29th. And Kevin McClone is going to be finished off in 30th place.
The next 11 cars wrap up your field. You see Fiona Siddons there in 31st, Thortolo in 32nd, Julian Schroer, a bit of an improvement from 41st to 33rd, but he's got to keep moving forward. Adam Fox, 34th, Jamie Gulliford, 35th, Dan Mold gets mired back there in 36th, with Michael Hall just behind in 37th. Harley Moss finishes in 38th. Glenn Humberstone 39th, and Casper Court back there in 40th spot, just ahead of Adam Petman, the final car in this race. 41 cars, JP, for the first 2 races, and it's been exciting through and through. If we check out the race info, 6 lead changes, that's 1 per lap, and that's just the completed passes.
Yeah, that's just completed. I would like to see an overall, just during the race course, I bet it would be on the 20s, I would dare say, because it was just non-stop. Every single corner looks like we had a lead change, each and every single straightaway. 6 doesn't do it justice, I don't think.
One thing we've got to do after that kind of a finish with everybody is go back and see if we can get a replay of all of that coming to the line, especially for the race win. Here's a look at it then. Actually, I'm not sure if this is before or after the checkers. This might have been just before, I think. And yes, it was. So this will be a look at the finish then. This is going to be the final minute or so coming to the line. Let's see how it all shakes out. We might have actually gone 1 lap further back. Regardless, let's watch this and see how this all breaks down. So this is headed out of turn number 2, Oval 2, NASCAR 2. So this is actually a great position to start watching from. This is into the bus stop. What the heck happens? Craig Schill loses just a little bit of time to Adam Delmont here in the 77. There's the side-by-side of McEwen and Cooper. Cooper falls in behind, and that opens the door for Lars Fischer to come on through. Oh, there's just so much happening.
Yeah, it's just so much to happen. I mentioned live, I thought Craig Schill didn't get the best of exit. He really did it, but that slipstream just helped him, the sides draft just helped him stay in contention for the win. As you can see, the top three, well, essentially third, fourth, and fifth are just coming in so quickly because those two ahead are just punching the air. Those behind can just have the benefit of the slipstream. As you can see, they're drag racing. And Schill, I dare say, has the best, the optimum position. He's on the yellow line, Andrew, and, you've ran quite a bit more NASCAR oval courses. I dare say you want to be on the as close as possible to the yellow line as you head into the final straightaway.
It all depends. Every race is a little bit different. Really what helps him is that hit there from Jason Cooper. It, for the moment, forced him below the double yellow line, which at that point is okay. He didn't go down there in his own volition, got hit down there. That bump from Jason Cooper and the way that Andy McEwen decided to go to the top of the racetrack really helped Craig Schill. And across the line, this is how close it is for every position in this top group. Right at the line, you see Schill across. Cooper takes second by just such a small margin. In fact, it's 3/1000ths of a second between Cooper and McEwen right there. That is a NASCAR finish if I've ever seen one. Delmont in the middle of all that falls to fourth. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. He was battling for the lead as he exited bus stop. He actually took the lead and somehow he came out worse on all of that. It's just also crazy. We're gonna see this on, I guess, normal speed just to see how quickly things happen. You can see they're both going side by side, and then the rest of the pack just comes in all of a sudden. Look at that bump.
Across the line, that's how it sorts out right there. Just wow. I do want to go to the onboard here of Jason Cooper and see that bump as it all happened. We'll have to find the number one and let's find the left front here. So this is actually, let's speed this up. Let's go full speed. This is Jason Cooper. This is the entire run from Oval 2 back to the line. And Cooper's going to send this up the inside of McEwen. McEwen's going to be on the right. Cooper sends it up the outside, or inside there, outside here, and McEwen gets that spot back. So good move there from Andy to take that spot back away.
And here, they're just benefiting from the slipstream. As you can see, the top two are just punching the air. They're slowing themselves down, and the rest of the grip, just comes in so much more speed. As you can see, the closing in speed just massive. As you can see, the Cooper just darts down the inside, and here comes the bump.
Jason Cooper chooses to go with Craig Schill, and that's going to help him in the points as well. That is a good decision for the points to help Craig Schill and not Adam Delmont, and that's what it looked like from the onboard of Jason Cooper. What a run to the line. We're going to have a heyday, I guess. No, heyday. What am I trying to think of? Regardless, it's going to be fun getting highlights of all of this. We do have the overall race winner, Craig Schill, standing by, and JP, he is all yours.
Craig Schill. Now we're talking to you as a race winner, an overall race winner. How does that feel?
Did it really happen? Because I'm not sure it did. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. I just kind of thought, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, well, and that worked, and that absolutely happened. We got it on live. And I guess me and Andrew, we still can't quite believe it. We kind of thought at the race, start of race number 2, we could see, someone other than a pro driver winning. And, that was you. It happened. Talk us through the race. How much pressure were you feeling, on the upcoming final straightaway? I guess that's just as best as I can say.
At the start of it, going off the line, it was, to me, I was just having a bit of fun. I wasn't expecting. I thought, I'll get through the first couple of corners and then I will just get swamped. They'll just take me all on the back straights, and I was aiming for top 20, top 15. That's where I thought I might just sit. And then I just started realising that, hang on a minute, I'm quite quick through turn 1 and I can hold my own. And then it was like, okay, fair enough. And then the last 5 minutes, I think panic was just like, I was sweating buckets, and I had the other 88 tech team in my ear going, go on, do it, go on, don't give up, give up. And I was just like, yeah. And then the last bit, I think it was Andy McEwen or Adam Dalmont had me coming out of the bus stop. I got it slightly wrong. And then I saw Jason Cooper coming, and he was coming fast. And then he hit me, and that was it.
Yeah, that bump, we saw it on slow-mo, we saw live speed. I mean, that was some bump, and that was the race-winning move. He just, I mean...
Yeah.
How scared were you? Did that unsettle your car in any way, shape, or form? Was it like wobbling or something?
A little bit, but I kind of saw it come in. I saw him come in, so I was like, right, I'll stay on the inside because Racing 101, stay on the inside, make him go the long way round. And so I kept on watching, and then I realised I think there must be my nail marks in the back of my steering wheel because I just grabbed onto it and held it and just like, hold on to it. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, you might pick up second.
Well, and absolutely work. You came out best of the whole field. And how does that build your confidence for race number 3 and 4?
Yes. I'd love to repeat it. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I am loving Daytona at the moment. I did a lot of the raw races around here in the TCR.
Well, you definitely should, because well, this result is absolutely amazing.
So, and I'm a little bit braver on the brakes than I would normally be, and I can't answer that why, but it's working for me. So we'll try again.
Absolutely, and we're kind of excited to see you doing it again. Well, hopefully you can. But before I let you go and let you focus on race number 3, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
I'm gonna thank the 88 Tech team for just giving me the G up and just keeping me going and like keeping positive thoughts going through my head. And I am going to dedicate this one to my father who passed away in August because he was probably my biggest fan since I started sim racing. He would always watch. So yeah, I'm going to dedicate it to my dad.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm speechless, and I'm pretty sure you just made him proud because that was an absolutely amazing drive, Craig. And well, with that being said, I'm going to let you focus on race number 3, and hopefully we can talk to you from victory lane once again.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And and that, Andrew, is Craig Schill, a race winner, overall race winner, and I dare say quite an emotional win. I dare say I'm gonna go for it because it happened once. Well, it can happen twice, maybe even 3 times. Andrew, who knows? It would be definitely amazing to see another driver other than the pro drivers to win. Looks like we're nearly all staged, so we could be ready for another upset, I shall say.
Well, I'll get that. There we go. This is race number 3. I was talking that entire time, I promise, but we have racing on the way. Red lights, green lights on the way now. And it's another standing start out of the banking at Daytona. Nick Clibben's on pole, Adam Height second. They race down to turn 1. That is James Sharp, actually, in second. Correction there. Liam Silkstone third. Luke Cooper fourth. Douglas Stewart. Michael Seal now up into fifth place through turn number 1.
And looks like the rest of the field, looks like the whole field, Andrew, looks like they made it through cleanly, at least through the first sector. As
there it is.
Oh, there we go.
Adam Height gets turned around. Tom Griffiths, Jason Cooper around the outside. Thankfully, nobody hits the stopped car of Adam Height. We'll roll on.
Yeah, just one car, looks like just one, not casualty, just one incident. As we head now into the second hairpin, looks like everybody's still in single file for the most part. You can see a couple drivers trying to make a move down the inside, but looks like everybody just kind of taking a little bit easier. They saw what happened in race number 2, so they don't want to repeat. And race number 3 looks like gets off to a very, very clean start.
Out of turn number 6, they'll come back up onto the banking and fire on through NASCAR 1 and 2, turns 7 and 8 here on the Daytona International Speedway road course. Just love watching these guys work around here.
Oh, it's just an absolutely sight. I mentioned it on race number 1. I was gonna say that on each and every single race, and I don't plan on stopping. Looks like we do have a big separation between first and second, but if they go side by side into the bus stop, they might just slow themselves down to allow that second group to, well, essentially close back. But looks like they both made it through. Oh, looks like we have a battle for third place. Nearly came in contacts, but looks like, look at that gap, Andrew. First and second place, they might have just cleared that slipstream barrier.
They are 2 seconds clear of the rest of the field. This could be a tandem race up front between James Sharp and Nick Clibbins. Third is Luke Cooper. Fourth, Liam Silkstone. They are side by side on the banking. Adam McNally's in that group as well as we race up out of the banking for the first time. And it will be a drag race to the start finish. To lead the first lap, Nick Clibbins will lead the first one here.
He's going to be leading the first, looks like maybe of 7 laps. He's going to be losing, unfortunately, the lead down into turn 1. Sharp goes down his inside and gets them moved on. They're going to be following a line. Look at this. Look at what's happening. I'm not quite sure what the term is in English, but Silkstone is in third place. He's leading the second group ahead of Cooper, McNally, Knox, Stewart, Seal, Dowman. Looks like McEwen just slides his way into the top 10. That's quite a big group. Look at this. We have more battles into the International Horseshoe, and looks like we have a car spun around.
It is James Neve, and that left front is disabled. He is not going anywhere in a hurry. That car will have to tow. Up front, this is the battle for the race lead. Clibbins and Sharp, and these two have wasted a half second of their gap. Look at this. Silkstone is closing in. He has made up a half second in just the infield alone. Can he hold on to it when they pop up onto the oval?
And as soon as Silkstone gets within that gap, that slipstream gap, he's going to be pulling that whole second group with him. So, as you mentioned, Andrew, those two may have just wasted a golden opportunity to just, essentially battle themselves for the rest of the race. As we can see now, Silkstone 1.7, 1.3 behind. Clibbins might just have something, as you can see, even more battles behind. Looks like that just might be McNally and Seal and Delmont going side by side.
A look back at the race leaders. To the bus stop they will go. This is lap number 2. And to the inside, Nick Clibbins will take that spot away. Sharp gives it up. They're going to have to leapfrog, I think, to maintain this gap so that it's just a race between those two. Liam Silkstone, Pro-Am leader. He is third. It's Chris Knox in fourth. Luke Cooper in fifth position. Adam McNally sorts into sixth. And it's Delmont, Seal, McEwen, and Pagnon, your top 10. Your first, or I guess your second Pro-Am driver is Douglas Stewart in the 11th spot, and your first amateur driver is way back here in position number 17, actually. The 920 of Adam Mitchinson is your amateur leader in all of this, the way it's sorted out.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be holding off the lead. Looks like he has quite a bit of distance between the guys ahead, so he's just going to have to defend for the rest of the race, I dare say, the rest of 10 minutes. As you can see, drivers going side by side behind him. As we look, is this Craig Schill? Yeah, this is Craig Schill. He looks like he got, not the best start. He's 41.7 seconds behind the race leader, and it looks like he's just entering NASCAR 3.
Yeah, he is 40th, I think? No, 35th position. I'm not sure what happened to him. No clue. But it does look like he might have started from the pit lane, as he has taken a pit stop in this race, or at least visited the pit lane at some point. That is usually telling of starting from the pits, and we've got a battle for second. Silkstone and Knox just behind our race leaders into the West Horseshoe. and it's Knox around the apex, taking that third spot away, at least for a moment.
Yeah, at least for the time being, he's going to be snatching that third place. Looks like Silkstone is definitely not done, and he's going to be getting that back. He's going to go down the inside of turn 7, gets that place back. Knox is going to have a better exit. He's going to have a tighter line as they entered, well, the NASCAR oval once again. Looks like Silkstone might just not have a lot to defend, especially with Knox having the inside line through the bus stop. We're just going to have to wait and see how this is all going to filter out. This battle between them, that's going to allow Clibbins and Sharp to just pull ahead. So they could just break away once again, and it looks like that might not be the case, though, because that gap between those two, the top 2 and 3rd place, is coming down.
It's hard to say if anybody's going to gap anybody here, as they will work into the bus stop for the 3rd time now in race number 3. Much of the field gets sorted out single file. This is a much more orderly race than race number 2. Just like that, the entire field just about works on by. This is up front. Sharp and Clibbins, 1st and 2nd. Clibbins with a big run here. He's going to take it up the racetrack. And James Sharp will be a sitting duck, but they will both be sitting ducks compared to Chris Knox and Liam Silkstone, who bring Luke Cooper along with. Look at this fight to the start-finish. It's now a 5-car race.
This is a 5-car race, just as you mentioned. Well, it looks like they're going to be absolutely switching the top 5. Clibbins going to hold off the lead. Knox might just have 2nd place if he can battle his way through Sharp. Looks like not quite. He's going to have the inside line for the International Horseshoe. Silkstone is going to be dropping to 4th place. Cooper in 5th. McNally is going to be following him. Well, it looks like that 5-car battle looks like that's going to be a 6th, and that's going to be rejoined with another group soon, Andrew.
And there was a big send there from Adam McNally into the International Horseshoe. It was tough to see, but if you saw it, you saw it, as these guys work on through the kink for the 4th time in this race. Luke Cooper now side by side with McNally. That is for 5th spot, just behind the black, blue, and orange number 594 of Silkstone. So the first side by side is McNally and Cooper. Behind them is Seal and Pagnon. Pagnon back in the top 10. Seal as well, as they work back up onto the oval here. Lap number 4 of 7.
As you can see now, Knox getting the inside line, getting the lead, looks like just for momentarily from Clibbins. Sharp is going to definitely be looking to take advantage from these two battling. Well, Silkstone in 4th place might just have something to answer McNally as well, but look at this top 3. That is extremely close. Clibbins, Knox, and Sharp. Are they going to go 3 wide? Yes, they are. Andrew looks like, no, not quite. It looks like Sharp thinks better of it, just decides to take the racing line. Who's going to come out on top, Clibbins or Knox? Looks like Knox is going to have the inside line. He's going to have the preferred line. And, well, he retains the lead. He comes out of the bus stop on the lead, but, well, not for long, I dare say.
See how the draft works out here for Nick Clibbins. Nick going to take the car high. He might have had a slowdown. I wouldn't think he would. He might just be trying to work the gap to his favor here, trying to help, you know what? I think he's trying to help Silkstone along. Silkstone is on the outside of James Sharp. He is trying to give the draft to Liam Silkstone, and it is working. They are both now moving. Here is the onboard from Silkstone. That is a heads-up teammate playing from the Excite Energy drivers. Silkstone going to take it 3 wide as we edge to turn number 1. Here we go. 3 wide. Luke Cooper is into all of this. And around the outside, Pro-Am Liam Silkstone with a big move.
What a move. Can that stick? Because Knox is going to have, well, he's going to go side by side with Silkstone because Knox, well, he's going to go right now outside. He had the preferred line on turn 1, but looks like Silkstone just edges him out. Clibbins in 3rd place. He's going to be forcing Knox to go side by side with him on the kink. And, well, Silkstone comes out over the 1st sector in the lead, but looks like not for long, as we're just gonna keep saying that, Andrew, because nothing is guaranteed. As you can see now, Knox looking down the inside of the 2nd hairpin. He might just have it.
Really enjoy this wide shot of the field as they work through the infield. That's the West Horseshoe. They'll now go to turn number 6. When they pop back onto the oval, that's turn 7 and turn number 8. Mostly single file, but a few battles popping up through the rest of the top 10 as the entire top 20 is right back in a line. 6 seconds separating 1st through 19th. They are just lined up and ready to go. The gaps are all inside of a second between each car. This is on board with 10th place, Lars Fischer.
As you can see, the rest of the top 10 just in one shot. And well, Lars could end up winning this race, Andrew. 4 minutes to go. That's definitely not out of the equation. If he can time his cards, time his overtakes properly, he can definitely be in contention, especially as we can see from the time he shoots. The lead is changing each and every single position inside the top 10. It's changing each and every second. So anything can happen. As you can see, he gets a great run into off of McEwen. So we might see a position, especially we can see drivers going 2-3 wide ahead of him.
Here we go, a couple of teammates in this, in Pagnon and Sharp side by side. Pagnon's going to go 4 wide to the outside of Luke Cooper. Miata's 4 wide at Daytona. Inside is Knox. Middle are Clibbins and Cooper. Outside is Pagnon. And this is coming up to the race leader. Will they go 5 wide somehow? No, it's 4 wide to the stripe. 4 minutes to go at Daytona.
That is just absolutely insane. Who's going to come out on top? Looks like Clibbins just
Knox sends Silkstone. That's contact with his teammate now. Off the racetrack goes Clibbins, but he saves it.
He saves it, and he rejoins in 6th place, so not all hope is lost for him. A contact between Knox and Silkstone. That's going to allow Knox to go into the lead. Cooper is going to be fighting Silkstone as they head out of the International Horseshoe. He's going to have, looks like, 2nd place for the time being. Wow.
Wow is right. They'll work through the kink now. Just one more corner in the infield to go here on this penultimate lap. 2 laps to go. That last time at the stripe, Silkstone sends it way into the West Horseshoe, and he is off into the barriers now. That might tear up the left side of that car. He might be okay, actually. The suspension seems fine. He rolls away from the scene of the accident, and it is now Luke Cooper, 2nd place. Look at that. Sharp and Seal make contact. Seal gets forced wide. McNally goes on through. Pagnon to 6th. He's going to try for 5th.
He's going to be trying for 5th, definitely. Well, unfortunately, with Silkstone's instead, the top 10, oh my god, the top 10 is a full pro, categories inside, so that hope for a Pro-Am victory looks like might have just gone out of the window. But as you can see, well, the battle for the lead is definitely not over as we're following these guys. McNally leading this small field. Pagnon looks like he's going to be going defensive, trying to close off from Seal, and he just falls back in line, so just falling, trying not to disrupt this pace that they have, trying to not lose the gap that they have with the leaders.
Bit of a bobble there from Clibbins through the bus stop. McNally going to take advantage of it. McNally is that one car trying to go high, now tucks back in behind that Excite Energy machine of Nick Clibbins, who started this race on pole. And up front, we're going to have a side-by-side, I think, out of the final corner. Yes, we do. At least for a moment. Luke Cooper goes on by. They will fight past a lapped car there on the inside of the racetrack, who stays well out of the racing groove. And it is white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art.
White flag. One more tour for these guys. One more lap to decide it all. Who's going to come out on top, at least on turn number 1? That's going to be Cooper. Looks like he's going to have the lead into turn 1. Knox definitely still in contention. As you can see, Sharp and Pagnon as well in 4th place. Everybody's so close together. Each and every single position could be decided.
Inside is Sharp. Ooh!
They nearly made contact.
They
Looks
did.
like they all...
Pagnon
they did.
Pagnon and McNally absolutely doored each other. Their mirrors are hanging off. That was absolutely contact to the International Horseshoe. Now to the kink. Knox slides in behind Cooper. It's Sharp in 3rd. McNally 4th in the first Excite Energy car. Sharp backs off early. McNally round the outside. And you've got teammates now on the inside of turn number 5.
McNally trying to make it work the long way around the outside. He makes it work, actually. He gets 3rd place for the time being. Sharp is going to have to, result to 7th. Pagnon nearly makes contact with him. As you can see up ahead, Cooper looks like got a bit of a wider line as they entered the NASCAR oval section of the racetrack. He might just be under threat from Knox.
One car way wide.
Way wide. Well, Andrew, place your bets right now.
Oh, I'm not making any. I'm a smart man. That's not going to happen. Cooper now loses that top spot, goes way up the racetrack, and is going to give way in momentum to McNally, who's going to take the opportunity to go to the inside. Teammates will stay single file behind. That is Sharp and Pagnon, and McNally way up the inside. He's going for the race lead. What a move, but I don't know if it's going to stick because, draft. Let's go. Final run to the checkered flag here for race number 3. And absolutely, Knox is going to have a big run.
Oh, is he? He's 5/10 of a second away. Might be too far. No, he's definitely not too far away.
He's got Cooper as a push.
Yeah, he definitely has Cooper.
He's gone high.
Have anything?
No, stay in line.
No, look at Cooper. He's going to have a run. He might just snatch it at the line.
To the line we will go. Side by side, 3 wide, 4 wide. Pagnon way up high. Cooper's going to win it. Oh, contact. They hang on to it up front. That's Cooper. Sharp knocks your top 3 positions. That is replay worthy once again. And it's 3 wide further back in the field. Who's this across the line? Is that Schroer maybe? Yes, that was Schroer, McGlone, and Williams across the line.
There you go. Photo finishes across the field. Oh, Andrew, that's going to be the 3rd photo finish we had today, isn't it?
3rd. We had photo finishes through the entire field. That's just how it works at Daytona, no matter who is in it. And I'm going to reiterate, drivers, if you go back and watch, can you just not escape immediately? Stay in the car, finish the cooldown lap, please, because if you don't know, iRacing cameras are bound to the car. When the car escapes, it goes to scenic automatically. We can't control that, so it will go to a completely different camera. So drivers, if you're listening and you want to do the broadcast a favor, don't escape right after the line. We've got cars crashed coming across the line. That last one was Adam Delmont. My goodness. We'll have to see what happened to him as well, potentially. Let's go to our trusty spinny wheel. We've got to spin it one more time here, JP. It feels like we've already done 4 or 5 races. This will be the invert for race number 4 across the line. That's something. It is an invert of 23. Barely. A photo finish even on the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a few pixels decided, so we go for 23 drivers once again. So now we're going to take a look who's going to be our lucky pole winner, I guess you could say.
Well, your top 10 looks like this. Luke Cooper, James Sharp, Chris Knox, they came to the line all within 0.12 seconds of each other. That is 12 100ths. If you make it a 10th and a half, that includes McNally, a 10th, and, well, I guess 16 100ths would include Marcelo Pagnon. Across the line, you also see Jason Cooper in the top 10. Again, really good points day coming up for Jason Cooper. Michael Seal, 7th. Tom Griffiths in 8th. Nick Clibbins there in 9th. And Andy McEwen ekes out a top 10.
Getting a top 10. Adam Holloway, unfortunately, is going to be finishing off in 11th place ahead of Casper DeCord, so quite a good 3rd race for him. Lars Fischer is going to be finishing off in 13th place ahead of Douglas Stewart. Thor Tulo is going to be finishing off in 15th place. Adam Holloway might just be our Pro-Am winner. I just noticed Douglas Stewart is going to be finishing off in 2nd place on his class. Liam Silkstone, unfortunately, from fighting for the overall win, is going to be finishing off in 16th after his small incident on the 2nd hairpin. Adam Mitchinson is going to be finished off in 17th place ahead of Wayne Douglas. Duncan Cope in 19th. And Jamie Guilford is going to be finished off in top 20, in 20th place to round off our top 20.
And that is a Pro-Am win for Holloway, an amateur win for Mitchinson. So a couple of race winners there in 11th and 17th. If you go back to the next 10, this includes your pole sitter. That will be Julian Schroer. That photo finish to the line is good enough for Schroer to get pole for the next race. That's why you've got to keep racing. Mark Oliver, though, does finish 21st. James Clark in 22nd. McGlone comes across just outside of contention for the pole in 24th. Ben Williams 25th. Dan Mold 26th. He has had a rough day. So has Nathan Davies, who's been mired well in the rear all day long. Glenn Humberstone 28th. Michael Lees 29th. And Fiona Siddons on the top 30.
31st place will go to Adam Padman. He's going to be finished off there. Craig Schill, unfortunately, is going to be finished off in 32nd. Not the best race for him. Adam Hyde in 33rd place. A lap down is going to be Adam Dalmont in 34th place. So that's really unfortunate to see him down there. Paul Donkin, unfortunately, 35th place. 4 laps down. 6 laps down in 36th place will go to James Neve. And Colin Sansom, unfortunately, 7 laps down is going to be our last driver in 37th.
To a field of 37 that time. Let's go back and see what happened up front to the checkers in that 3rd race. Luke Cooper edging out with a race win. I can't believe that. This, I believe, will be our run to the line. This will be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point in time, we kind of thought everybody would just stick back as they head into the bus stop, but
when Knox went high here, I panicked a little bit for him, And I guess with good reason, he finishes third. And that opens the door for eventual race winner Luke Cooper. I don't know why you would go high right there. He opens the door for Luke Cooper to keep having draft. I don't know what he was thinking.
I'm not quite sure. He might just be, just blocking that second lane from Cooper to force him to help.
Why? He wasn't even there yet. It boggles my mind. This is the run for why you see Pagnon out way up high. And I mean, Cooper was uncontested once he got alongside of McNally, because at that point he had the run to keep going. Sharp barely gets there.
Yeah, he just eked out each and every single performance out of his car. And, well, they just got a perfect run, didn't they? Knox somehow, I guess you can say he threw it away, a win, I dare say.
So this is coming out of turn number 2 again. Let's watch this full speed. Cooper goes up high. That gives the edge to Knox. And McNally comes in with the send of the day. Watch this move to the inside of the bus stop. I didn't know where he was going with this, and this feels really aggressive. He just kind of, I think he rolled off the brake for a moment to facilitate that as well. I'm not sure. But that was just one heck of a move.
Yeah, and he made the bus stop perfectly. Look at the gap that he got.
Yeah, but it makes you a sitting duck. You always want to follow, especially in a draft like this. You always want to follow into the bus stop on the last lap. You always want to be second. It's just like coming out of turn 4 with a stock car at Daytona. You want to be second exiting that corner, because then you have a chance to set up for this run like Luke Cooper does. I mean, Luke just comes out of nowhere. I mean, the door is open for him from third place up to first. You can see he just goes right on by. I mean, uncontested at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, just absolutely nothing McNally could do. As you can see, Cooper just with so much more speed. As you can see, Pagnon trying to eke out. As you can see, the contact being made with the outside barrier. As you can see, maybe a little bit of neck code contact between Knox and second place. I forgot, but well, as you can see, just a bit of contact that did nothing to hurt those. But as you can see, just Cooper absolutely just driving away at that point.
That's the action across the line for the win. Let's go back and see this for Julian Schroer. There's Ben Williams up top. Below him is Kevin McGlone. So the red car is Williams. The multicolor car there is McGlone. Watch Julian Schroer go attic to basement. There we go. From the very top to the very bottom. Just barely gets his nose to the inside of McGlone. And that is the move that now puts him on pole. This is going to be a really good opportunity for Julian Schroer to go out there and get a win, not only in Pro-Am, but overall.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to open the doors for him to have that opportunity. As you can see, that move was just being made at the perfect point. I'm not quite sure, even if it looks like the speed that he had, even if he just stuck on the outside lane, he may have just gotten. But as you can see here, just so much more speed than those two competitors. Just decides to go down the inside. As you can see, clears them quite quickly and just gets that, the win, essentially, to allow him to, essentially start from P1 on the next race. But as you mentioned, Andrew, that's going to open the doors for him to maybe be our second different non-pro victor of the series, you could say.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see there for Julian. We do have another driver alongside, and as we switch sessions here, I'm going to hand him your way. That is Liam Silkstone, JP. Really solid run for him, and he ends up finishing in the, 16th position when it's all said and done, but should have been much higher up.
So, Liam, it's quite heartbreaking to be talking to you. It was almost an overall victory for him, but unfortunately just slid out of your hands. What exactly happened?
Do you know the pedal that helps you slow down? I didn't press it hard enough and just went straight on. My fault. One of them.
Go ahead. I'll let you talk.
Yeah, we were side by side. I just came in and went, "It's not working. I'm in the grass." But the thing is, I'd been winding everyone else up when I was in the lead, so they got their own back when I was in the wall. But no, self-inflicted. One of them. It's all good fun.
It's just so unfortunate. We really thought you had a great shot to the overall victory. But I guess it's more like it can happen on race number 4. We saw some amazing drive backs. But how confident is it? You saw yourself battling for the overall lead, during the whole race, essentially. Just does that build enough confidence for race number 4?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because we raced here last week in another league. And I didn't win out, but I was up there, and it was just like, right, okay, I think I know what to do here. So it's just keep my head forward and just keep an eye on the track in front, even when there was no one in front of me because I was winning.
Oh, absolutely. That just might be the best strategy. Obviously, now looking forward to race number 4. You know, obviously you're going to be starting a bit on the mid pack. How difficult sometimes is it to keep it clean, especially on turns 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah, it's people want to go 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide. Some people are in the stands or in the pit lane. It's just try and back off a bit more, coming from me who went around the outside of turn 1. But it's just try and keep your nose clean. I just need to beat the Pro-Ams. That's my main aim, which I'm doing so far.
Oh, that's absolutely what you have to do. Obviously, fighting for your own class and winning it, it's definitely going to be good. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to let you focus on race number 4. Who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out so far?
I don't know. I'm not used. McNally, because he could have won every race so far if he didn't have aero damage. Delmont for keeping us entertained, and Mikey for keeping me pit stop warm. So yeah, that'll do.
Well, there you go. that works. But with that being said, Liam, I'm going to let you focus on race number 4, and hopefully we can talk to you at the end of it.
So, thank you. I'll be winning it.
Oh, there you go. That's something that we like to hear, isn't it, Andrew? And, well, with that being said, that was Liam Silkstone, and, well, he looks confident for race number 4.
Sounds confident there. I like that out of a driver. I think back to my real racing season this past year, going around with the Cars Tour Pit Road TV, and I recall after his first win ever in the series, Caden Honeycutt called his shot and said, hey, we're winning next week too. Now, unfortunately, it didn't work out for Caden, but I think it just might work out for Liam, so long as he plays his cards right, and we'll find out here in just a few more moments. We've got race number 4 on the way. Don't go anywhere. We've got more racing to finish up here for round number 4 of Trophy Tuesdays for the British Sim Racers. Welcome back to the Daytona International Speedway, or at least its virtual counterpart on the iRacing.com simulator. We played the day B-roll because it's just about daytime here in the sim. In fact, we're working into the morning here in the sim. You can see it's a bit lighter. There's just overcast suddenly built up as we've seen before, so it's still a little bit dark, but we had to get that day B-roll in there somewhere. This place looks so good during the day, during the night, doesn't matter when, in between even. The Daytona just looks fantastic. Obviously, race is great too, as we've seen so far today. 3 great races, 3 great finishes, and we're about to see one more.
Yeah, absolutely. Daytona looks great each and every single, I guess, time of the day. You can be morning, nighttime, midday, wherever it is, it's always going to look great. And it looks like we're already staging for the finale, the final race, race number 4. Andrew, the first 3 races were amazing. Could this top all of them?
It's going to give it a run for its money, certainly. Of course, these drivers, they're going to start to feel some desperation. They want to get a race win on one of the world's largest stages, Daytona International Speedway. It's the world center of racing. They want to win here. We've seen that so far, and they are going to do whatever they can to try and make that happen as we get ready to go racing for the 4th time today. This puts Julian Schroer on pole. That's right, Julian Schroer with that very last second move, but quality move out of turn number 4 of the oval to get to the line first, at least of that little battle with Ben Williams and such. That is what is good enough to get him the pole. We are on the throttle here, everybody getting ready to get rolling, and we have got a race starting right about now. Green lights are out. The car headlights have turned off, but the action is ramping up through turn 1 now. Into the S's here at Daytona. Schroer keeps the lead. That is Mark Oliver in 2nd place.
Looks like both of them are going to be keeping it clean through turn 1. Look at the gap that Julian already has. He goes a bit wide on the International Horseshoe. So does Oliver, but they both retain their positions. Looks like 2nd place might be under challenge. Not now, but maybe on the 2nd hairpin, as looks like the top 3, well, battle for 3rd place is going to keep on going ahead of the kink. Looks like the rest of the field is making its way through the kink again. And going into the 2nd chicane, 2nd hairpin. Oh, Julian makes contact. He's going to be pushed off, and he loses the lead.
Wayne Douglas in the number 17 now will take over. 2nd place going the way of Jamie Gulliford. That's turn number 6. 3rd is Liam Silkstone, who just said he was going to win this race. He's already into 3rd, battling with James Clark, now into 4th.
Don't rule him out just yet. It's only the start of a 15-minute race, so anything can happen, but well, he's looking in a great position, at least to accomplish what he told us, what he promised us. But as you can see here, he's still battling for 3rd place. The rest of the grid, as you can see on your shot, this amazing shot out of NASCAR number 2 as they head into the bus stop.
Jonas Siddons with a wild move there, racing with Paul Donkin as they go down to the bus stop here. Into the bus stop, leader Wayne Douglas, 2nd place. That's Jamie Gulliford. 3rd is Liam Silkstone. The entire field works on through here. And this is a fun camera shot right over the cars as they come back onto the oval and now into NASCAR 3.
As you can see, top 5 really close to one another. As you can see, another 3 cars battling for position. Then the 2nd group, I guess 3rd group, you could say, really spread out. As you can see now, drivers battling with one another, trying to get back to those leaders, the top 5 leaders. But as you can see, just really spread out. That's going to make life difficult, especially if you're going side by side. Look at this battle for the lead. I'm not quite sure who's leading, but we're going 3-1, nearly a photo finish already in lap 1, Andrew.
Across the line first, that's Casper DeCourt back in the fight. Silkstone on the inside of turn number 1 wants that top spot back from Casper, and he's going to try and get it there, but can't quite. The number 5 takes that spot back away. It's a spin for Michael Seal behind in turn number 1. Seal gets back on the track and gets back going.
He's going to be back going outside of the top 10, looks like it, as Casper DeCourt still retains the lead ahead of Silkstone, ahead of Douglas. As you can see, number 20 of Clark trying to find his way, into the podium position, but not quite close enough. He looks like he's going to be looking on the outside of the 2nd hairpin. Will he not quite? That's not really a place where you see a lot of moves happening. He's going to be trying to get a good enough exit to line himself up for the Maine straightaway. As you can see, just switching to the inside line, try to upset Douglas. Can he put a move? Looks like not quite close enough.
Field works on through turn 6 and back up onto the oval here. Gulliford, Clark, and Douglas doing battle just inside the top 5. A little further back in the top 10, look at Adam Mitchinson, your top amateur driver currently. That black and orange, number 920 in front of Tom Griffiths and Andy McEwen. Let's go on board with Andy as he works around in 10th position here.
As you can see, he just trying to get that slipstream over 130 miles an hour behind Tom Griffiths. He's just going to be giving him a slight bump that might just upset a little bit as they head into the braking zone. Not quite. Looks like they're all going to be forced. Well, they're all going to be single file as they head into the bus stop. McEwen going a little bit wide. That might just be an off track. Not quite sure if that's going to be a slowdown.
He's slowing down here. That bump, so though, into the bus stop, that's exactly what the driver ahead wants. That bump is going to help him. That's not going to hurt the car at all. That's NASCAR bump drafting. That's the good stuff. That was cherry.
Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes it can, obviously,
on a straightaway?
Not upset. No, but close to the braking zone, sometimes it can catch the driver unaware. Definitely might have caught me a few times.
Douglas takes a look to the inside here. He just had his nose maybe on the left side of the bumper. Certainly not fully inside of Casper de Court. That's Silkstone round the outside. Douglas won. That opens the door for Clark. JP, that was a good corner there from the pro driver.
Yeah, absolutely. He now finds his way into third place. He's gonna defend the third place with all his might. As you can see, Fisher and Douglas trying to snatch that back. Fisher pushes Douglas out and gets that third place. Douglas is going to be having to fight with Gullford for that 5th spot. Looks like he's going to have the inside line for the kink. If Gullford can, if he can just stick it, he's going to have the inside for the hairpin. Looks like not quite close enough. Yeah, he just sticks on back. So it's Casper de Court from Silkstone, from Clark, Fisher, Douglas, and Gullford, our top 6.
I love the horseshoes here at Daytona. It's such a simple corner, each of them. But it works out so nicely. Such great passing opportunities. And, I mean, yeah, it really is such a simple infield, but it works so nicely. Just 2 back-to-back horseshoes with a kink in between. And obviously, one takes you off of the oval, one funnels you back onto the oval. It just works out so nicely here as we've got some drivers sorting out. It looks like, we've just lost Kevin McGlone, who was just dropped out of the race, I think by connection, as everybody else continues on. There aren't many side-by-side battles, but there is one back here with Douglas Stewart, it looks like, and Nick Clibbins, who we saw so much of earlier on, and Michael Steele is back here as well. This is 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
That's going to be a great battle, as mentioned, outside of the top 20. Oh, and yeah, nearly door banging as they head into the bus stop. Who's going to come out on top on this one? Oh, they're going to go side by side.
Oh, whoa! Oh, that was Marcelo Pagnon.
Yeah, he was. Looks like he's dragging a cone.
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah, and that left side looks like has a bit of damage. The wing mirror is just dropped.
Back up front, Casper de Court, Liam Silkstone side by side. James Clark, a good run for the Swift Cooper machine. And to the outside here goes the 96. Lars Fischer, the leader at the line over Casper de Court. Still 8 minutes to go, though. Nowhere near done in race number 4 at Daytona. So glad you're joining us here for continuing action with the British Sim Racers Trophy Tuesdays. This is just getting good. Race 4 on the day. If you missed the first 3, I would recommend going back and watching them after the fact. This is going to be fun.
Fisher just dug 2 wheels into the grass, but looks like he managed to, control the car. As you can see, Clark nearly got into the back end of Casper de Court. He's going to have to fight for that 2nd place. Silkson has absolutely no way past these 2 guys. He's in 4th place. As you can see now, Fisher and Clark going side by side into the kink, into the 2nd hairpin, the 2nd horseshoe, as Andrew loves so much. Looks like Fisher just might come out on top, unless Clark has something to do on the outside lane. Not quite. So Court, Fisher, Clark, and Silkstone are top 4.
Turn 6 now for our race leaders. Court, Fisher, Clark, your top 3. Silkstone in 4th. But this is a battle between Silkstone and Gulliford, actually, for your Pro-Am lead. There is Gulliford out behind of this number 594 car. This could be a nice little battle, actually, within the rest of everything going on. This could be fun to watch these 2 go after it for a race win in their own class.
Oh, absolutely. And isn't it nice to see a Pro-Am class battle for the victory within the overall top 5?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had the amateur winner there, Craig Schill, but to have 2 Pro-Ams in the top 5 is always special. Work on through the bus stop one more time. Some wonky corners there from DeCourt and Fisher, but they get on through anyways, and the rest of the field's starting to bunch up, actually. Here's a nice little battle. Thor Tullo is into the top 10. Best run we've ever seen out of this guy. Tom Griffiths will go up to the top side of the racetrack, trying to find some side draft on Jason Cooper. Can't find it yet. Ducks back in behind.
Yeah, this battle for 7th place really can heat up, because you can see now we're on board with Tom Griffiths. He's gonna have, well, he's gonna choose, looks like, Thor as his, well, partner in crime, let's say, as he's gonna give him a nice little bump as they're close to turn 1. He's gonna be, could have ended badly, but they all make it through. Looks like Thor Tullo.
A motor's just gone. I think that was the 17 of Wayne Douglas, and it was a money shift. You're kidding.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking.
He's gonna pull over to the side, and that's race over for Wayne Douglas. Didn't we see that at Spa?
Yes, we saw it was Casper DeCourt while leading.
Yes, that's right, it was. I can't believe we've seen that 2 weeks in a row now, as Dan Mold has just gone around in the International Horseshoe. More contact. We've got a nice little crash here in the International Horseshoe. One other car was involved. That was Julian Stroher, not our pole sitter.
No.
He can never catch a break. His one break that he's caught so far in this series was that battle to the line to get pole for this race. Since then, everything's gone awry. The whole season's been tough for him. This is a look now at Adam Mitchinson, still your amateur leader, but just over Adam Height. This is a good little battle further back in the field, 14th and 15th on the racetrack.
Yeah, this is a battle. They can maybe just sneak up into the overall top 10. Looks like it may have just been a little bit spread out. As you can see, Adam Hyde chasing, as you mentioned, Mitchinson right ahead. And, well, Andrew, it could change at any moment. You know, Mitchinson could just make a mistake. These two can go side by side through any corner, essentially. And, well, as we mentioned, this is a battle for their class victory. So this really does matter.
That it does. Mitchinson with the advantage currently over Height. 4.5 minutes to go. Height has the advantage, though, of following Neve, so that's just an extra little bit of draft help for Mitchinson. RallyRaidProducts.co, number 920, continues to lead in class. And contact! Ben Williams drives into the side of Adam Height and Fiona Siddons. Ben Williams crashes Adam Mitchinson. Are you kidding me? He just took out both amateur leaders, and they both hit again. Dan Mold crashes through them all. What just happened?
That was an absolutely insane crash. I'm pretty sure we had another one on the exit of the bus stop. I'm not quite sure. But looks like a lot of drivers being caught victim on this one. How many did we lose? Was it 4 or 5?
I have no clue. Not a clue just yet. We'll go back up front. Stewards are going to have a lot to look through in that race. In this race, that did not look right at all. Obviously, we don't know. And no contact, Silkstone. A bit of contact there with the Cooper machine of Clark. And now the 599 of Gulliford. I thought he was going to over-rotate and spin there. He caught it.
Hikata is going to be losing 1, maybe just 2 positions. Who knows, maybe 3, as he's going to go side by side into the kink. He's going to have to defend from Griffiths right behind. He's going to be yielding that position, at least for the time being. No, he's going to have the inside line for the second hairpin. He's just going to be holding, unless Griffiths has something to do with it. He's not giving up. He's going to have the inside line for turns number 6 and 7 for the entry of the oval, and he's going to have that position sorted. And, that's him up into 6th place. And now the battle for the Pro-Am class takes a little bit of a breather. Now Silkstone has 3 positions clear of his nearest competitor.
And we're on board with Gulliford. Right behind Tom Griffiths. There's 3 cars in between these two. But with 1 lap left in the bank, a lap and a half really, these guys still have a lot of racing to go in this penultimate lap. You saw the bump draft there from Gulliford up to Griffiths. Into the bus stop now. They all kind of check up, give each other some space. Good racing here inside the top 10. Casper DeCourt is going to have a mirror full of his teammate, Lars Fischer, who has just fallen back a little bit. About a half second now, as there's Fischer and Silkstone in tow.
Yeah, Silkstone could really get a good double slipstream from those teammates, as you mentioned, but then he's just going to be left out for this, essentially, unless Cooper. Yeah, Cooper's not going to help Silkstone, I don't think. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this is going to pan out. As you can see now, Silkstone going to the outside. As you can see, Cooper really coming in. You can see those 3 teammates. Silkstone, well, he doesn't care. He already snatched the lead. He would have won the race if that was the final lap. Now we're on the white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art. Silkstone goes round the outside. Can he slow that car down? Yes, he can. He's leading the race, Andrew, on the final lap.
And I think these 3 teammates for 5-Star Motorsports have to be careful. If they do that again and check up like that in a line, they could throw this race. They've got the rest of the field up here by the numbers. There's, 3 of them and only 4 other cars in this little group right here? They've got this. They should anyways. But if they work together a little too much, they might actually hurt themselves like we saw coming to the line that time. They now work into the West Horseshoe. Silkstone, the race leader. Court in 2nd place. Jason Cooper 3rd and Fisher in 4th. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, those are all 5-Star Motorsports, and they're coming up on the lapped Ben Williams.
Looks like Ben Williams is just going to be holding. That might help out Silkstone. He's just going to have an extra little bit. Yeah, he's just going to have that slipstream. That's going to help him defend for Casper DeCourt. Casper is really close to Silkstone, as you can see. A 10th and a half around that. Oh, as you can see now, the lapped car, Ben Williams, gets out of the way. Casper, where will he go? He's going to have to go the long way around the outside unless he backs off. And looks like he might just have, as you can see, no, Ben Williams still in front of Silkstone.
It's just enough to help Liam right now. Now Williams maybe not quite in the same line as Liam Silkstone. This really is going to change the outcome of this race. Silkstone leads into the bus stop. DeCourt backs off. Cooper with them, so the teammates are gearing up for a run. This is where the entire 3 of them just freight train Liam Silkstone. He should have let Casper DeCourt go on by at some point, and you see now he goes way up high, maybe following Ben Williams. The final corners here in race number 4 at Daytona, the final race of the day for the BSR Trophy Tuesday MX-5s, and Casper DeCourt takes the lead back away. Silkstone put on his back foot. Williams gets out of the way. It's a drag race, teammates, and 1 imposter to the line, and it's going to be Casper DeCourt with a victory at Daytona.
Just barely, Silkstone ekes out a 2nd place finisher, so he splits the teammates. Fisher is going to be finishing 3rd, Cooper in 4th, Griffith is going to be finishing in 5th place ahead of Clark, 4th, Tulo inside of the top 10, Gulliford is going to be finished off in 8th place, McEwen in 9th, Holloway is going to be finished off in 3rd place for 3 Pro-Am drivers inside of top 10. Wow, that was quite...
Well, sorry, your AM winner actually will be Colin Sansom.
Wow, so things changed.
Yeah, they did. Where did Mitchinson fell 2 laps down at the 30th spot?
Oh, he was victim of that massive incident that we had.
That's right. You're absolutely correct. That puts Colin Sansom through for a race win in amateur. I can't believe it.
So much has happened that incident on the oval just, completely passed us. And, we forgot that Mitchinson was involved. So, things changed quite a bit for the amateur class. And our points leader coming into this race, got taken out in 2 races, if I'm not mistaken.
And I want to go back and review that incident specifically. This should, it looks like maybe one more reverse back in time, and this should show it. It doesn't look great. I just want to say that ahead of time, but this will be a look at it. Mitchinson is the black and orange car, orange text on the side of his car there. What in the world happened? So Adam Height is the car behind. This is racing for the amateur race lead and win, realistically. And Ben Williams is the red car with the black nose that comes on through. A bobble there for Mitchinson, and Williams just drives through Height into Mitchinson. Contact there. I mean, what? I hate to be so critical of a driver, but what are you doing? You can't drive through somebody.
He just, yeah, as you mentioned, you just drive through it. He got a massive run,
I think he's just a bit short-sighted there in that situation. You just gotta, unfortunately, you gotta be patient at Daytona. There's still, at this point, I think this was lap 5, maybe lap 6, like, sit back a second. There is still time in this race. You can hold up. You have to. I mean, there's not the racing room to make that kind of move. I don't know where you expect the race leaders, and you have to respect this too, race leaders in their class taken out like that by somebody else in a different class. It's just really unfortunate, and watching it back now, it's clear Ben Williams meant no malice, but That's just really, really unfortunate for these two who are racing for a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben, yeah, as you mentioned, he meant no malice. He just got a great run. His run was great. He unfortunately just kept his foot in it and couldn't really, well, change the gears in it. With Mitchinson, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe just a little bit of net coat glued those cars together. As you can see, then Mitchinson had absolutely nowhere to go, collects yet another car. But yeah, as you mentioned, those two drivers fighting for the win of their own class gets taken out. And, well, that's just unfortunate. Well, just unfortunate circumstances.
Now, somewhere in all of this, Colin Sansom is going to have a great view of it. This is on board with the year one machine of Colin Sansom, and this will be exciting to watch, I think. It's just unfortunate. Obviously, you know, stewards will be the final say in all of that, but that may have even abridged the double yellow line rule, and that was, well, I guess, relayed to drivers, if you will. Drivers were informed of not being able to pass below the double yellow line. We didn't have any situations today where we had to talk about it until this one. And Sansom blew the chicane here. That lets one car go on by. That was Michael Lease who went on by, pops the curbing there, and Lease then spins. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
But that mistake may have just saved it, because look at the driver ahead. He's gonna be taken out. So that's
Mold
small
comes
mistake.
up. Oh, Colin Sansom, great avoidance.
So that small mistake from him on the bus stop may have just guaranteed him the win of his class.
That was part of it, certainly. And you know what? Since we can, let's go back and see this from Lease's perspective. Michael Lease follows Sansom all the way into the bus stop and then gets alongside and I think forces the outbreak there of Sansom, and that's what puts Sansom through the dirt. This will be a good look at things, but the thing to keep in mind with these guys is, this is all, you know, this is a very fun league. They all want to have fun. Yes, tempers do boil over from time to time, but this is all meant to be, you know, for a lot of fun with points added, maybe some prizes as well. So that is the biggest thing. And also, as far as the double yellow line rule, this will impact Thursday with BSRTC. You see the catch there from Michael Lease, and he might have been better off down here in the grass as well, as he goes to the outside of Williams there and kind of eases his way back onto the racetrack. Glad he got no further involvement. Oh! Wow! Dan Mold might have just clipped Michael Lease there, and that might have been why he couldn't quite bring the fight to Colin Sansom the way he would have wanted to. What's interesting is actually he finishes just behind Colin Sansom. We're going to fast forward a little bit and catch this, but for the double yellow line rule, for those that are not aware, essentially you cannot initiate a pass below the double yellow line. Just like in NASCAR, you cannot go down there and initiate a pass specifically between the exit of the bus stop and turn 1, and again between the exit of turn number 6 and the entry to the bus stop. Those are the no-go zones. You can't go down there. If you get forced down there, that's one thing. And if you go down there on your own volition, it is on you. Get back onto the racing surface. So this will absolutely have an impact Thursday when we bring touring cars right back here. This is Michael Lease, and I want to watch along with this to find out where this all goes differently for the amateur win. This is such a great race, and unfortunately with races everywhere across the track, we just couldn't quite follow it. That was Pagman that he passed. Somewhere up here, though, Sansom comes right back to Lease, and that's what I want to find.
Yeah, he just passed, as you mentioned, Paganin, who had an instant of his own. He had an absolutely semi-destroyed car. You can say he just lost so much speed, unfortunately. And then, as you mentioned, Michael Lease just catches up, maybe just on pace. Obviously, Sansom most likely did a small mistake somewhere. And as you can see, just closing in. And then once you get within that gap of the slipstream, well, you're just going to catch up so quickly. And, well, that just might be the case.
Well, this is a look from Michael Lease, and that car ahead is Colin Sansom. I wonder if Colin was a little bit off pace, maybe some damage or something had held him up. And drivers, if you're watching, I do see some of you guys in the waiting room. We will get to you right after this, but this is so important for the amateur race win. We want to go and get this recap. So this is into the bus stop. Is there a mistake potentially?
Yes.
Really good corner there from Michael.
Yeah, as you can see, well, Sansom just missed the first apex. That's going to compromise his whole run, not only through the bus stop, but until the checker flag.
You know what? That actually could have been for checkers. This is actually kind of interesting. Let's play this back. look at this fight to the line for these two. Michael Lees uses that draft in the help of Pagnon all the way to the line, and I think this is for checkers right there. That's how close it is. Man, one more lap and Michael Lees had a fight here for the win in amateur. That would have been really, really good.
Yeah, just one more lap. Things could have changed for the amateur class, but unfortunately came up just short, maybe less than a tenth of a second. So quite heartbreaking, but I mean, still, second place, that's definitely good enough after nearly being taken out on that instant.
Let's start post-race interviews here with Jason Cooper. JP, he's headed your way.
So Cooper, I guess we could say this was, I mean, a good week for you. I guess these M4 races were absolutely good for you. And, well, how would you rate them? How would you review each and every single one of them?
Oh, that's absolutely crazy night of racing. I'm pretty happy to have finished all four and not got involved in too many crashes. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone who raced around me tonight. I really enjoyed that.
And obviously, with Daytona being so, I guess, slipstream dependent, timing your moves was absolutely critical. Did you do pre-race practice with your teammates to essentially know when to overtake and when to hold back?
No, I did the raw before the 24 at the weekend, so I suppose that was my practice. But yeah, so it's really hard to judge the gaps depending on how many cars there are, how many gaps there are between the different cars. It's really hard to judge the run to get it right.
Absolutely, and obviously with teammates, things do get easier. Were you guys communicating the whole race? Just targeting attacks, knowing when to overtake, who to help. Was that part of, I guess, the plan?
You'd probably think so, but our chat was pretty quiet, to be honest. So perhaps we need to improve on that bit.
Well, if it was pretty quiet and you guys had such good coordination, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen when you guys start talking with one another. But obviously, you came out of here. Well, you're going to come out of here with a good haul of points. How does that, improve? I guess, how does that reflect on next week as we completely switch tracks?
Oh yeah, it couldn't get much different from Daytona to Knockhill. So yeah, I really enjoyed Knockhill. So yeah, really looking forward to next week.
Well, definitely we're going to keep an eye out for you as well. This might have been just your best week outside of Brands Hatch, but, we're just going to have to wait until next week to see how that's going to plan out. Before I let you go, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
You guys for doing the stream. I enjoy watching it back each week, and obviously everyone who puts in all the hard work behind the scenes to make the league what it is. So thank you all.
Well, there you go. So Andrew, that was Jason Cooper. Sounds confident. He had an amazing week tonight, amazing 4 races, and hopefully we can talk to him next week as well.
I can't believe they aren't working together, they aren't talking, they aren't communicating as much as it seems like they are. It really does look like a coordinated effort out there on the racetrack. Let's go ahead and bring in now Chris Knox, who had a pretty solid run throughout the day. A couple of detours though, Chris. What happened to you in that 4th race? Why'd you finish outside the top 10?
Yeah, didn't make as much progress initially as I thought it would, but then I don't know who I was racing against, someone, but he kind of was wanting to just fight for every corner instead of working together, and then the lead guys were just gapping us like half a second a lap, so it was just damage limitation really, and trying to get as many points as I could.
Yeah, of course, it's frustrating, watching the leaders gap you in a race, but unfortunately, it is a race, and those guys do have the right to battle with you. How do you try and get away then? I mean, how do you separate? I mean, obviously, turn 6 and the bus stop are the 2 most important corners for separation here. How do you try to separate from those guys when they're just wanting to race you and not work together?
Yeah, the bottom line is you can't. It's literally the draft here is so powerful that you could be a second clear, and then coming into the bus stop, the guy's on your bumper again. So it's impossible. I mean, when I was in front, I let him draft up behind me, and then I would move high, let him get the speed through and come in behind him. But when it was the other way around, he would just sit on the inside. So yeah, it was pretty frustrating, but on a whole, tonight was pretty good. It was probably the most fun I've had in iRacing for a long time. I think I led 3 of the races at one point, and yeah, any one of us could have won that race. It's just all your luck in the draft battle to the line. But yeah, good night. I think I finished 2nd overall for the night, so pretty pleased with that.
And you were in a lot of those finishes, as you mentioned there. What about race number 3? I'm going to be honest, I was a bit puzzled when you came up out of turn, out of NASCAR 4 and left the bottom lane to Luke Cooper. What was the game plan there?
I thought I was going to get mugged, so I went high and tried to get the run down off the hill to try and get in behind someone, but yeah, it didn't really pay off. Still, I think I got P3 in the end, but it's just one of those. It's just total luck. Even when you get the run at the bus stop and there's 4 or 5 cars in front of you, by the time you get there, all 3 lanes are blocked. So it's good. I wish we could race at more tracks like Daytona because it gives you a chance to move forward. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed tonight.
You got to zig or zag, and sometimes you find out later on that you should have zigged when you zagged. You talk about the fun factor in these races. How important is that for the league as a whole to have these races that are a bit more fun? Obviously, some will still get mad, but it seems like everybody had fun today.
Yeah, I mean, there was like 6-7 people in the Discord channel, and they all had a really good night. Like last week at Spa, I had 2 DNFs, race 3 and 4, so coming back here and finishing second overall for the evening is certainly made up for that disappointment of last week.
And we've got Knockhill next. Obviously, that's back up there in the UK for all of you guys. It's completely different from Daytona. It's almost as simple in the track map, but not at all as simple to drive. How do you attack Knockhill next week?
Well, Knockhill is my local circuit in real life, so I know it pretty well. Raced there a number of years ago, but yeah, 45 plus car MX-5s around Knockhill is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of carnage, I think, but it'll be good fun.
I'm very much looking forward to Knockhill, and you know what? I don't know what to expect there. I've driven a few laps around there myself, just kind of gotten just ever so slightly, I guess, acquainted with it. You seem to know it. What should we expect? Call it now. What should we expect next week at Knockhill in both the Mazda races and the TC races?
A lot of meatballs.
Okay, fair enough. I guess spaghetti is the special next week. That should be a lot of fun then. Chris, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on some pretty good runs tonight, and we'll see how you do at Knockhill next week.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Chris Knox finishing 11th in that race, but some really good finishes earlier on in the day. And you know what, JP? You just spoke with Liam. How about you talk to him again?
I'll definitely take it in. Liam, close to coming in with your promise. I guess you might be happier with race number 4 than you were with race number 3.
Yeah, no, well happy with that one. I'm just confused, to be fair. I knew I wasn't going to win it. That was a given. When you've got 3 5-star drivers around you who are quick and they know what they're doing. As soon as you got into the banking, they were going to have me. So it's one of them. I'm happy with my second. As I said, I'm looking at the pro. I'm going, where's the nearest? It's Holloway. He's in P12. Okay, it'll do. So I've got my own championship to fight for. So
I mean, absolutely. And you won your class, so I guess it's a victory anyway. So technicalities, I guess you fulfilled your promise. So I guess you should be pretty happy. Just came close to that overall victory. But obviously, you mentioned having 3 teammates right behind you. It's kind of difficult to defend, isn't it?
Well, it's not even like 3 teammates. You could have. Well, I would say you'd have 3 Excite cars behind me, but they'd crash into me. But when you've got the caliber of 5-star, you've got Jason Cooper, who's I've heard he's pretty quick. Casper's pretty quick, and Lars. You know what I mean? It's 3 consistently quick drivers. If you'd have had 3 AM drivers that were teammates, it might have been a bit easier. You can make a couple of mistakes, but you don't see 5-star putting a foot wrong. So I knew I wasn't going to win it, but I'll take second any day of the week.
Well, absolutely. And how does, this string of good results, good racing that you had from race number 3, race number 4, help you on next week? Because next week we're going to Knockhill. It's a completely different circuit. Do these results, just push you to, practice further and harder or something?
No, because I'm on holiday next week. So I get the ferry on Saturday. I miss the next week's racing. So what it was for me is get as much points in front as I can for like the drop week, if you know what I mean. So if I've scored 100 odd points, I've got 100 odd lead. I want to be still carrying my lead after my week off. So that has been my aim, is to get a big gap, have my week off, and then come back so I'm still in front, even before the drop rounds come in, if you know what I mean.
Well, there you go. So I guess you fulfilled 2 promises tonight. You got a great haul of points. And, well, unfortunately, we're not going to be talking to you next week, but hopefully we will in 2 weeks' time.
Yep, and hopefully I'll have won. I don't know when it is, but yeah, I'll be back.
Absolutely, and we're gonna have you back here on the booth. But well, with that, Liam, I'm gonna let you enjoy your holiday, not practice for next week, and well, hopefully we can talk to you in 2 weeks' time.
Yep, I'll catch you then.
Well, Andrew, that was Liam Silkson, second place overall finisher, winner of the Pro-Am class. Unfortunately, not gonna be with us for next week.
That is quite unfortunate for the points anyways. We haven't even gone through results just yet. We went straight into replays, then interviews. Let's look through the results here. Unofficial race results for race number 4. Casper de Court with the race win. Liam Silkstone second by just a half of a tenth of a second. Lars Fischer there third. Jason Cooper fourth. Tom Griffiths fifth. James Clark, Thor Tullo, Jamie Gulliford, and Andy McEwen and Adam Holloway make up the rest of your top 10. Unfortunately, we might have just lost JP there. 11th through 20th is going to follow with Chris Knox, James Sharp, James Neve. Then Michael Steele, Adam Delmont, your top 15, a bunch of pros there. Then it's the Pro-Am of Douglas Stewart, Nick Clibbins there, a pro in 17th. Colin Sansom and Michael Leese with the amateur race for the win. Sansom gets it, and Marcelo Pagnon follows through for 20th. 21st goes the way of Mark Oliver. Paul Donkin there, 22nd. Julian Shore, 23rd. Fiona Siddons with a better finish than I think the rest of the day went for her. Craig Schill there in 25th. Unfortunately, after that overall race win, it was just downhill. Finishes 25th in race number 4. Kevin McGlone, a decent little comeback to 26th. That could have been a lot worse. Ben Williams, again, not sure what really happened, to be honest. He finishes 27th. Dan Mold, a lot of carnage for him. He seemed to always find the wrong times to be somewhere on a racetrack. 28th spot. Wayne Douglas, 29th, and Adam Mitchinson there in 30th. I really feel for Adam, having been in the lead when all of that mess happened out of the bus stop that claimed his race. The rest of the field, Adam Height right there with Mitchinson in that fight. Adam Petman there in 32nd. Nathan Davies never got anything rolling today, 33rd. Adam McNally 34th, and Luke Cooper 35th. JP, it seems like you're back now. We have seen some wild stuff, and it's only going to pick up from here. We're going to see a lot more wild stuff later tonight with trucks right back here at Daytona with the Nork iRacing series. B, we are going to do this all over again on Thursday with touring cars.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be, it's going to be insane. And I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. I mean, obviously, tomorrow we're going to have the Ferrari fixed. It's going to be a packed week. It's going to be a fun week, Andrew. And, well, if you're watching us, you should definitely, keep following us on each and every single social media to make sure you don't miss out any bit of the action we're going to have on Tuesday with Newark. Later on, actually, with Newark, on Wednesday, tomorrow with the Ferrari fix, and obviously on Thursday to do this all over again, except with touring cars. And obviously, you should follow us on facebook.com/pitstoptv, on Twitter at twitter.com/pitstoptv_, on Twitch, on twitch.tv/pit_stop_TV, and on YouTube at youtube.com/pitstoptv1.
And again, I want to tell all of you guys that are watching or watch this back or whatever, all of you drivers in the British Sim Racing group here, if you want to be back on Pit Stop TV tomorrow, I know you guys do some fun stuff on Wednesdays, but I would strongly consider the Ferrari GT3 Challenge race that's going at 2:45 Eastern, that's 7:45 UK. That's going to be fun. I really am excited for tomorrow's Ferrari Challenge event at Hungaroring as well. Fixed setups, a close field, all the same manufacturer. We are broadcasting top split of that time slot, and I am so excited for it. There were hundreds of drivers signed up for these time slots yesterday and even today. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing these guys at Hungaroring. A bunch of official racers. We don't know who they are. We have no clue who the field is going to be, and that honestly is really exciting. So right alongside all of our league broadcasts, this is going to be a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. If you want to join in on the fun with Pit Stop TV, whether you are a league that wants to get broadcast, somebody who wants to do some broadcasting, or somebody who wants to join Pit Stop TV as a partner, by all means, reach out to us at andrew@pitstoptv.com today. We'll get in contact and we will figure some stuff out. JP, that is it. That is 4 races done today. We have 4 more on Thursday. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank all of our partners here at Pit Stop TV. Of course, Tucson Sound Art, your picture, your music. Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, where you deserve the best care that money can buy. Whiplash Media, the official graphic and camera provider of Pits.tv, and BAM Racing Videos by a race fan for the racing community. That will do it from the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Thanks so much to everybody for tuning in throughout the course of the afternoon, evening, wherever you're watching from, no matter what time it is. Just thanks for being here. JP, thanks for being alongside today. For all of Pit Stop TV, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Have a great night.